Well, still plenty of fallout due to the Cowboys trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers for three-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark and 2 first-round draft picks. Parsons will sign a 4-year, $188 million extension with Green Bay. Includes $136 million guaranteed. By the way, the Packers come to Dallas Week 4, September 28th.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minutes.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Happy Friday, everybody. And it's a great Friday for Jason and I because we are at Heroes Stadium, and it's time for a little high school football action tonight. Hope everybody's having a great Friday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minutes.
And you mentioned Heroes Stadium, a Frito Pie football Friday. Our Quarter Moon Plumbing Game of the Week. Brennan and Reagan Wood away to get a high school football season underway.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. It's just great to be up in the press box up here and look down at the field. It's going to be playing football on here in a matter of hours.
Well, and it's always cool. And I know I say this all the time during football season. When you get to the stadium and you're the only one in the building, and right now maybe, I don't know, I see a couple of, school employees, workers getting some things together, but there's less than 10 people in the stadium at this point. It's just cool when you're in the facility looking down, the calm before the storm.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be a great night for football all over the city of San Antonio and, all over the state of Texas for that matter. So happy to be out here. It's just a great time of year. We had college football last night, big-time college football tonight. Bill Belichick making his return to the sidelines tonight for North Carolina. And then, of course, tomorrow, my goodness, Texas, Ohio State.
Well, Texas, Ohio State, and that line has moved. Texas now favored. Now, a big reason for that is somebody went into Circa, and he dropped a pretty large amount of money on the Longhorns, and that completely moved the line in that game. One guy.
Well, when you're talking, $500,000?
Yeah. This is Derek Stevens on VSIN.
I see a -1 by Texas. You guys, as of right now, are the only book, I believe, in the world that has Texas as a favorite. What has that action been like, and what do you expect as we get closer to Saturday for that monster showdown between Texas and Ohio State?
I was sitting in my desk and I saw it come across the ticker. It was pretty straightforward.
That's just, as a matter of fact,
550,000 on Texas +1. So we blew through the pick. We went the other way. So now we got Texas as a 1. Looking for some buyback.
So Texas, $550,000, Texas +1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what happened. So right now we figured because the pick'em number, it doesn't mean that much. We figure, okay, now's the time we're going to get a little buyback. So I think we have seen a lot of buyback so far, but we're still at 1.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I did that. I made the call to Circa this morning and made that bet. So I didn't know my little bet would change the line.
You wonder, because, Derek Stevens owns Circa. And he's always in the building. You see him walking around, either sitting at the bar. He's got his reserve spots there, or walking on the floor in the sports book, wherever. He's very visible. But how big of a bet do you have to make that the owner is made aware of it? And you think about the thousands of transactions that are going on all day long at the Circa Sportsbook. And I know I've never been in his office, but he talks about it a lot on the show. He'll notice things coming through. I guess he's got a running little ticker. But, does somebody call up, hey, boss, 550? I like the other day, somebody walked in for one of their contests with $200,000 in cash to join the Grandamismo deal.
Yeah.
And, Derek came down and met the guy. So when you got that kind of cash, but but in that one bet completely moved the line.
Well, that's a big bet, though.
Oh.
$550,000. That's a big bet, and I can see that happen. It's moving all over the place, though. On my little app that I use from time to time for entertainment purposes only,
For $5.50.
it's down to pick 'em on my app. I actually bet Texas at +1.5. So I'm glad I made that bet early.
Well, and it's interesting how it works, but also listening to Derek talk about, a little insight in the sports gambling world. Well, all right, we're moving the line, trying to get some buyback because they want to be back to even. I mean, they're there to make money.
Yeah,
they want you to win money, but they're there,
of course,
to make money. It's going to be interesting in college football. And again, you got college football tonight, which always pisses me off. This should be sacred for high school football. Saturday, we got college football Sunday and on Monday night.
And I'm being told, and y'all are right, I checked, Belichick's not till Monday night.
Against TCU.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
It happens every now and then.
Your first fumble of the day.
First fumble of the year, I think. My goodness.
Please.
I'm pretty good at this.
Please. Please. Yeah.
So my apologies.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Tell them, Bucky.
Not until Monday. But Baylor plays tonight.
Auburn.
Yeah, against Auburn. So that'll be something to watch. But
yeah.
Look, I'm ready for tomorrow. I truly am ready for that game tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I heard Colt McCoy on a radio show earlier today. He's looking forward to it, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Mac Brown was just on with Rich Eisen,
mm-hmm.
and you get it's great that you get so many games like this because there's not a lot of them. We'll do our prime picks coming up at 5:30 that we do every year, and normally it's 5 NFL games, 5 college games. You know how hard it was to come up with 10 seemingly competitive college games?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but those are rich people problems. It's a big weekend of football, man.
Well, and then I was looking at where's got some of the biggest lines I saw was like 50.5.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're going straight up, but we're not going to pick those because it is straight up. But yeah, we'll do prime picks coming up here in a bit. And, of course, the news of the day, it happened during the show yesterday. Micah Parsons officially traded. He is now a Green Bay Packer. And it's interesting based on social media or even text messages that I've gotten from friends of mine. What is the last straw? A buddy of mine says, Brother Minix, I'm almost ready to end my marriage with Jerry Jones.
Oh, my goodness.
And the fact, I've seen so many like that. Like, I'm done. Now, how often do we hear you're done? How often during a season on a Sunday night, screw it, what other team can I pick? And by Wednesday, you're back on the bandwagon. But the overall reaction is seemingly mad at the timing of the trade, not necessarily the trade itself. And that's where I'm at. As a Cowboy fan, I mean, did I want Micah Parsons signed? Did I think he was going to be signed? Yes. Said yesterday, I'd be surprised yet not shocked if he was traded. But if you were going to trade him, there's a right time to do it and what you're getting in return. This is right in line with Nico Harrison and Luka. Except Luka didn't want to leave Dallas. I don't know that Micah really wanted to leave Dallas either, but I feel like they could have got so much more for a Micah Parsons if they would have done this in March.
Well, of course they could have. But again, I don't think Jerry had any intention of trading Micah Parsons. I really don't. All the way up until I think, as we're going to find out, we're going to hear from Jerry in a moment, that he wanted Micah to play on that 5th year.
Yep.
And apparently Micah and Mulligetta said, no, we don't want to do that. And that's when I think Jerry, I really believe it came down to that, where it was just a matter of moments. I don't think Jerry had any intention of ever trading Micah Parsons, but Jerry wanted it handled his way, and he wanted Micah to play out his contract, and then they would talk, and Micah probably would have gotten paid by Jerry Jones at that point in time, but he didn't want to roll the dice and take a chance. So it's interesting. Now, you bring up Nico Harris. Worked out pretty good for the Mavericks.
Yeah.
Now, you gotta think glass half full, Minix.
I don't.
Gilbert on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page says he's about to become a Texans fan. And I told him, don't do that. And, you've heard from a lot of people like that. I'll be honest with you. I've heard from a lot of people that say they're okay with this. They're okay with it. Micah Parsons, they thought was a problem in the locker room, and they're ready to move on from him. So I think there's more people that are upset, don't get me wrong, but I have heard from several people that are diehard Cowboy fans that are okay with this trade.
And again, if you think he's a problem in the locker room, it's because the narrative is out there that he was not the best of teammates. He might have been a bit of a jerk. And we've heard that. I've heard that personally.
Absolutely.
So have you.
Yep.
From a variety of different people within the Cowboys organization. But at no point was he ever described as a cancer in the locker room. And I think that's a big difference. You can put up with a kind of a jerk of a teammate or a jerk of a coworker. You can't put up with a cancer in the locker room, and nobody has ever described him as a cancer in the locker room. Now, when I hear average fans say that, it's because they're hearing this and this and jumping to an assumption, which I think is fair. I wonder now, will there be a stories coming out about that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But with everything that I've heard, I can tell you now, I don't believe he was ever a cancer in the locker room. He doesn't have to be the most liked, and he doesn't have to get invited to the barbecues, and he doesn't have to invite people over to his house and all that sort of stuff. We all work with people that you work with them and you don't ever see them socially, right?
Sure.
But you still, I mean, not everybody you work with, you're friends with.
I think it was his podcast that pissed off some people, and they really got him in trouble. And that's what I think it was. And so he doesn't have to be a cancer in the locker room, but when you're throwing your teammates under the bus in front of the entire country, that's a problem. And that's the biggest thing you and I heard in Oxnard, that there were teammates of his at that time saying, we need to get rid of this guy. And so I think all of that it started, and yeah, he was a good citizen for a year when he got paid. And quite frankly, I don't know, would he have reverted back? We'll never know. Obviously, we'll see how he performs in Green Bay as far as their locker room situation and what he does. But I don't know. I just don't see this as the sky is falling like a lot of Cowboy fans do. Cowboys now have 4 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. It's a lot of draft capital that you can go out and make a pretty good deal with. Or do you draft those guys? I'm not sure. And I don't care where they are. If they're in the 20s, so be it. A lot of teams would be willing to wheel and deal for draft capital like that. I think it's a good thing for the Cowboys. It cleans up the culture immediately. And by that, I just say there's no more asking about Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Schottenheimer now can concentrate solely on the Philadelphia Eagles. He doesn't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah, because we've had, 5 months or so of Micah contract talks. Now, granted, that's in addition to he could have done this last year.
Right.
And in March when they had the meeting and all the different stories. And you know what? We thought this book was going to end with Micah ultimately getting his deal.
Yes.
Instead, the ending is not what many expected. I mean, you might have thought, well, could this happen? But as you're following the drama, we all kind of knew how the story was going to end. And I don't know many people that had this story ending with Micah in yellow pants. And then Jerry saying, we're a better team today without him.
Well, I heard one general manager read a story today that the Green Bay Packers are crazy.
Yeah.
Number one, for what they paid him, and number 2, for giving away 2 first-round draft picks. So it works both ways.
And you got other GMs or former GMs that say it was an idiotic move by the Dallas Cowboys.
Sure.
So, I mean, you got both. Right now, it looks like Green Bay won the trade going away. Green Bay always beats Dallas going away, it feels like. But time will tell. And 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years is massive if you make correct picks. You can't use those on a Taco Charlton or a Mozzie Smith or a Luke Schoonmaker. So if you are able to turn one of those into the next Micah Parsons or CeeDee Lamb, they're great. But if those 4 picks turn into more Mozzies, you're screwed.
Well, absolutely. But that's any team that's drafting anywhere. So it's a crapshoot. I'd rather take those, at least a couple of those picks, and if there's a guy you like somewhere, you're offering those picks to somebody else to get the player that you want. So we'll see. We're going to hear from Jerry Jones. Stephen Jones obviously had a press conference yesterday talking about this, and Jerry was spinning as he normally does. By the way, Brian Schottenheimer is going to talk coming up here at the bottom of the hour is when he's scheduled.
2:30-ish.
We plan to carry that live, at least a portion of it, when that happens. And Micah Parsons is talking tonight in Green Bay at 6 o'clock. which, Green Bay just doesn't know how to do it. Why 6 o'clock?
Well, that's when his plane gets there and he gets cleared by their doctor to.
Jerry would have had that thing in prime time, right in the middle of the afternoon where you make the evening news, man.
We'll text him and have him go at 5.
I think he should go at 5.
Yeah.
But we'll hear from Jerry and Steven. That is coming up as we continue live from Hero Stadium, getting ready for a little high school football. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Is Cialis Daily really better than Viagra?
If you like spontaneity, the answer is yes. So when the mood strikes, you're ready to go.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is definitely much happier.
When you take it, you're ready to go.
Does Cialis Daily last longer than Viagra?
Guys are raving that their results last even longer.
My partner thinks that I am a rock star.
Because it is effective, I say I'm on a second honeymoon.
It's literally life-changing.
Does RexMD really work?
Over 85% of guys said not only does it work, they saw results the very first night. And you can get your first month free at freerexmd.com with medication delivered direct to your door. There's no copay, no doctor office visit, and your shipping is always free. Visit freerexmd.com to get your first month free. That's FREEREXMD.com.
Got wrecked? Got a pain in your neck? Thomas J. Henry is your next call. Thomas J. Henry has put over $1 billion in our clients' pockets in just 4 years. And we can help you too. Just look at our over 14,000 5-star reviews. The numbers and our clients speak for themselves. So if you've been in a car accident, visit thomasjhenrylaw.com today. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. Principal office in San Antonio.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Flight by Yuengling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the pit house to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6. The Aggies take on the UTSA Roadrunners, presented by Just Punts. Pre-game at 5 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Live at Hero Stadium this afternoon, getting ready for Jason Minnick's first broadcast, high school football broadcast of the year tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason.
Yeah, year 28 of high school football.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Some of those kids you called are now almost grandfathers.
No, but they are fathers. I am getting to the point where there are guys in high school playing, and I called their fathers' games. Now, when I get to Gary DeLon status, where I'm calling great-grandchildren, I know it's been too long.
Exactly right, man. Boy, I tell you, time flies. Some of the kids I covered, and we all have, they'll come up to me in the HEB sometimes, and wow, they're like 30 something, and I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah, there's some Smithson Valley types from back in the day that still have copies of games that I did on VHS. Yikes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You got a nice comment from our producer, Pledge, on our YouTube channel, San Antonio Sports Star, which is actually factual.
Yeah, I've been calling games almost as long as the Cowboys drought. And since it's from Pledge, I could say I've been calling games longer than the Houston Texans at Super Bowl drought.
Yeah, well, exactly.
I have more playoff broadcasts than the Houston Texans have appearances. Is that where you want to go, Pledge?
Yeah, some guy was calling me out, Tennessee Titans fan, and we suck. And yes, I agree they do, but I think they've been to the Super Bowl since the Cowboys have.
They haven't won.
Well, they haven't won, but they've been there.
I mean, does it matter?
Well,
I mean, it's all about wins. And, Texan fan about, I think about all those great AFC championship games the Texans have. They haven't been there either.
They haven't.
But, boy, they sure do like to pick at Big Brother. And then you think about, I don't know, some of the moves that the Houston Texans have made, like DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips, and now Micah Parsons, more than a bag of chips, but you think about dumb moves that franchises have made, but none of them get the attention that the Cowboys get for obvious reasons. But when you look at this trade, 2 first-round picks and a solid defensive tackle, but he's 30. And does that help the team this year? We knew Jerry would spin it. Just how was Jerry going to spin it? And quite honestly, I thought one of the most interesting things that he said last night was confirming that, he really did. He gave Micah and Mulligetta an ultimatum about playing this year, and then we'll talk.
Parsons and Mulligetta, did you tell them to play on the 5th year?
That they wanted to play on the 5th year?
No.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. They came to you as recently as this week or recently and tried to jumpstart negotiations.
Yeah, we had
play
some,
on the 5th year.
We had some dialogue. I'm not going to get into specifics because I don't think that characterizes it. But it was not in any way out of the order or anything like that. But basically, I think I've read where they said that I replied, we're playing under the contract as it exists right now. Get ready to play Philadelphia. Correct. That was correct.
Yeah, well, so Jerry wanted Micah to play on the 5th year, and obviously Micah didn't want to do that.
Now, the Parsons Mulligetta part was play this year or get out. And that was kind of the idea. Now, what we don't know, but you can kind of tell from Jerry's voice, whether it was, we'll sign a contract for you, but it will start after next year. We're not ripping up this 5th-year option, but the new contract will kick in next year, where it almost sounds like they wanted to rip up this year and start that new contract now. And Jerry isn't going to do that. So you keep in mind, again, history with Jerry Jones. He likes longer contracts, 5 years. And if it started next year, that's really 6 for Jerry.
Yeah.
Or even if he came back to 4, if it starts after next season, then that's 5 years for Jerry. Green Bay ripped up that contract, and his 4-year window starts today with the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, and which it's good for Micah Parsons and David Mulligetta, a hell of a deal, because Green Bay way overpaid for this guy. They did not have to go $47 million per year. They way overpaid for Micah Parsons. Is it worth it? I guess only time will tell. We will see. But look, Jerry wanted him to fulfill his contract. I mean, it doesn't work that way in the NFL these days, or anywhere for that matter, but that's what Jerry wanted, and Micah didn't see it that way.
Well, and fulfill the contract, but you see a lot of extensions start after the current deal.
Sure.
Look at Derek Stingley down in Houston. They didn't rip up his deal. It doesn't kick in until after his contract is over. So if that was the end sticking point, and I do think I'm going to go find a back doctor that will tell me I'm hurt, was Micah's ploy of, I really want out, I'm not going to play this year without this extension. And it got ugly in a hurry. And then, of course, Jerry is spinning it because, they know they have to stop the run.
The facts are, and we'll cover it, I'm sure, with many of your questions. But the facts are, specifically, we need to stop the run. And we haven't been able to stop the run at key times for several years. And when you have the kind of extraordinary pass rush that Michael had, then the way to mitigate that pass rush is to run at you. If the pass rush doesn't get you ahead pretty big time, and you're playing even or behind, then you've really got a problem in stopping the run.
I mean, that has been a problem for a long time. And whatever you think, and even Alexandra is taking shots at me saying this guy ought to be 50 years old and he's no good. He is he's a Pro Bowl player who has a reputation for being a run stopper. And so that's who they got. And I think he can help. Is he a long-term solution? No, but they certainly didn't have anybody else.
And he's better than Mozzie Smith. And that comment there is as much at Micah Parsons. Yeah, it's great to have that pass rush, but if you can't stop the run, what does it really matter? Mm-hmm. And if I could have drafted better, or if Mozzie Smith would have been the player we thought, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I think both those could be true. It is interesting to spin, but nothing negative about Micah Parsons last night. In fact, Jerry talked about how much they're all still friends, and they can do that. But are they a better team now? No, but Jerry can say that. They're going to be a different team for sure. It'd be interesting to see what Brian Schottenheimer says coming up in the next couple of minutes.
No doubt. He is scheduled to start a press conference here right around 2:30 or so. We're going to carry some of that live for you right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star when we return live from Hero Stadium.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is calling all golfers. The Fall Golf Classic is back. Mark your calendars for Monday, September 29th, and lock in your spot for one of the most fun golf events of the year at the Olympia Hills Golf Club. For just $120 per player or $400 for a foursome, you'll get 18 holes of fun, friendly competition, and non-stop laps with your crew. But don't wait. Spots will sell out fast. And once they're gone, they're gone. This isn't your average uptight tournament. It's all about cutting loose, enjoying the day, and supporting a great cause. The Community Foundation of the Hill Country, presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Charm Club, and sponsored by Fly by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. And when the final putt drops, the party's just getting started. Head over to the Break Room Bar on Pat Booker Road for the official after party. Cold drinks, great food, and the perfect finish to a perfect day. Don't get left out. Grab your crew, grab your clubs, and get ready for a Monday you won't forget. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Perro es no comida. What did he say? Don't eat the dog. He said, don't eat the dog.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening today. The guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
The long weekend sale is on at Target with exciting deals you won't want to miss. Stock up on grilling must-haves for a few more sunny barbecues. And while you're at it, ease into sweater weather with fresh new fits for the fam. Whether you're hosting, relaxing, or showing off a new style, Target has your deal in-store, online, and in the Target app. Hurry and save more with the long weekend sale happening now through Monday. Only at Target.
Some things can steal your sunshine. I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more. I just took a COVID test. Ugh. Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich, the former Madison quarterback, and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Many of the successes you've had began with a great opportunity. Now, here's another one. Get started on your degree or certificate in San Antonio. Choose from more than 135 degree and certificate programs, faster onboarding, and more from University of Maryland Global Campus. Get personalized local support services and take online or hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Do you need to get rid of things like furniture, mattresses, tires, and appliances? San Antonio has 4 drop-off centers for residential bulky items conveniently located around the city, open 5 days a week except holidays. Visit sarecycles.org. This service is free for solid waste customers that pay the environmental fee on their CPS energy bill, including customers that live in apartments. Visit sarecycles.org. That's sarecycles.org.
Ready to elevate your everyday? Quince has the Lux Staples Insider Swear By, minus the markup. From 100% European linen styles and 14-karat gold jewelry to gorgeous leather bags and elevated home finds, Quince has it all. And by partnering directly with top artisans and ethical factories, Quince delivers premium quality at half the cost of similar brands. Discover everyday luxury without the markup at Quince. Go to quince.com/style upgrade for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/style-upgrade.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at sasportstar.com.
It's a football Friday, and it is Friday. All of those things make it a great day
Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinigle. He's chasing minutes, and beautiful day as we look out onto the field and we wait for the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer. As soon as he gets to the podium, we will take you there.
We will, and if you're watching on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel, through the magic of technology, so we'll see if it works or not. We're going to try to bring the video content element into our YouTube stream, because this is one where, a lot of talk in the last week about body language with Micah Parsons. I need to not only hear Brian Schottenheimer, I need to see body language from Brian Schottenheimer. We're going to see if that will work. Why not? I mean, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live.
No pressure, Pledge.
That's all on Pledge.
Yeah.
So if it works, we're going to congratulate Pledge. If not, we're going to yell at him. So either way.
It was his idea. He said he could do it.
He can do it. I got trust in him.
Absolutely.
Again, as soon as he comes to the podium, we will take you to the Star in Frisco.
Well, and you think about where we are right now. Let's see, 2:35, 24 hours away. That game up in Columbus should be wrapping up.
That's true.
No
goodness.
I cannot wait.
I can't either.
It's great football Friday. Even the games last night, somebody I know, Ryan Eagle, was all over Boise State. Somebody I know, me, was like, I like South Florida in this one.
Yeah, but neither one of us had the stones to put any money on it. You would have won. I would have lost. So I'm happy I didn't.
Yeah.
But that was kind of surprising. And, I mean, the fact that Boise State lost, not a surprise perhaps, but the fact they just got blown out. I mean, it wasn't even close for that thing. So a good game up Cincinnati and
Nebraska.
That one, yeah.
In Kansas City, the Taylor Swift game.
Yeah, it was Taylor Swift and the Kelsey brothers were in attendance.
Can I tell you something? I'm going to tell on you for the audience.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe Reinigle discovered something last night that I think everybody else knew. So we're sitting over having some drinks next door at the roof. We were at the Angry Elephant, and Joe was like, "Did you know the Kelseys went to Cincinnati?" Yeah. Everybody in the world does. I mean, the photos of those two at Cincinnati have been around forever.
I did not know that. So, I mean, it was like, okay. There's a lot of things that I don't care to know. I mean, where the Kelseys went to college.
Did you know that Taylor Swift was dating one of the Kelseys?
Well, I think they're engaged.
They're engaged.
Yeah, right?
Although, the Cornhuskers last night on social media tried to step in and steal the show and then deleted their tweet.
Deleted it because they got a lot of pushback from all the Swifties. Unbelievable. They sent out a post that had the Nebraska mascot holding Taylor Swift and said, change of plans.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I thought it was genius. But Nebraska got kicked back and they were cowards. And they took it down.
It lives on forever.
It does.
So you think about, as we wait for the Brian Schottenheimer press conference to get underway, the idea of the trade yesterday, they've got a new defensive tackle. And I think Schottenheimer is ready to go. Let's go there live. Brian Schottenheimer.
California News. Jerry, yesterday, was in the circle. That trading was the right thing.
Well, I think we just went through the whole process, and it was unanimous. It's not something that came about. It wasn't something where it was like an overnight thing. We just talked about it. And at the end of the day, when you look at a football team, when you can potentially add up to 4 or 5 players and things like that, gives you the ability to do some things. We were certainly excited about addition of Kenny Clark. Played against Kenny. Very, very disruptive inside. And when we looked at it, it was, something that at the end of the day, when you get a chance to get things back in return that you're excited about, that you make the move. And so, obviously, at the end of the day, we got to maximize the picks that we have. And that'll obviously be the plan.
Over the weekend, after the last in your mind that possibly might be
when I talk to Mike? No, yeah. I mean, look, this is one of those situations where all my interaction with the players, it's I'm checking on them, I'm talking to them. But no, I didn't know. You never know. certain until it's done. And it's done. It's done. That's the best way to handle that stuff.
Was there ever a time that you thought this wasn't going to work out with Micah?
I think I've been pretty upfront and honest that I was confident he would be back. At the end of the day, we're happy for Micah, his family, the deal that he got. That's awesome. Wish him nothing but the best. He's done an incredible job here for the Cowboys for the last 4 years. But again, you never know how these things are going to play out. At the end of the day, I'm excited about all the additions that we've added, not just Kenny. Again, we've got some pretty good DBs that we've added. This is something you guys know all the time. It's a 365-day year to get Troy Bridges and Reggie Stewart guys that we're excited about. Trevor Keegan. At the end of the day, we're about trying to upgrade the roster any chance we get.
Did you address with the players today?
Yeah, I did. I told the players it wasn't just about Micah. I said, this has been a tough weekend for a lot of guys, players that we had to cut. I had to sit down and tell them, hey, we're going to waive you, and here's why. And this, excited about you, and here's areas that you can get better at. And we were fortunate to get almost all those guys back. But I just said that at the end of the day, this business it's about that. It's about having hard conversations. And I felt very comfortable with the message to the team today.
Ryan Schottenheimer's press conference live here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Again, I think, nothing's changed. My goals haven't changed. Our team goals haven't changed. I had players on that today after I talked about, just a tough couple of days, it doesn't change. The standard is the standard. I said that. With all the new pieces and people we had in there, I needed to hit the goal, which is to win a World Championship. I needed to hit that. I also want to build one of the greatest professional sports companies in the world. And, that's part of the deal. When you add new pieces, you have to make sure they understand your vision. They have to understand your culture. They have to understand view this game. And I think it's something we take a lot of pride in.
I'm sure with him. Where were you at when you see that this actually is?
I got a call from Jerry Stevens. And once I got the call from them, what I wanted to do was reach out to our players. So I reached out to, I'd say, a bunch of the leaders. And just, I wanted them to hear my voice. You never know how guys are going to take news like that. But I thought it was important for them to know 2 things. I'm a connection guy. I'm not afraid to have hard conversations. So I would say 12 to 14 guys. And, it's a real candid conversations that I thought was very good. And at the end of the day, it's one of the things that some people might shy away from wanting to do that. But I just felt very strongly that these guys needed to hear my voice.
It's pretty obvious that might be your deepest position. How much did that?
That was a big part of it. You're always looking at different areas. When you look at the guys that we have that can create pass rush, Dante, Sam, certainly a guy like Donovan, James Houston's a guy that's come out of out on the streets. Marshawn Nealon, there's guys that we have that play inside that can play outside. So it was part of the decision. But this was not something that we just stumbled upon and said, yeah, let's do this. It was well thought out. It was a lot of conversations about it. And then again, at the end of the day, you got to make sure that it works.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. How much of the timing of this was not wanting the cloud of the distraction to push into week 1 of the season? Because you guys dealt with it all training camps, so questions on it. How much of the timing associated with it was getting it done for the season?
Nick, when you talk about trades and stuff, it takes multiple people to get these things done. And again, we didn't have a timeline. It's just when you make a deal, you make a deal. And we were able to make a deal. And the positive thing about it is we're into a regular 7-day cycle with Philadelphia, and it's one of those things that now we get to focus on Philly.
has the overall team reaction been, and namely Trayvon Diggs, since he was?
We understand some of the audio is not good. So Pledge, I think we'll bail out of this thing and get sound bites when we can get that. That's Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Sorry about the audio issues there, but we're trying some new things. So.
And I think the audio is just the issues on the YouTube. On the radio,
maybe so,
might be fine, but he got a lot of coach speak answers as well,
Sure.
and you kind of expected that. Body language, he does look tired. Clearly, it was a long day for Brian Schottenheimer and a long night. But the one thing that he said there towards the end, before we jumped, they are deep at defensive end.
They are.
And I was talking with a friend of mine earlier today who's like, "Oh, you're just making Cowboy excuses about how bad the defense is." But if you go back last year and you look at the injuries they had at the edge rush position, they were on number 4 and 5.
Yep.
Not a lot of teams are going to be successful when you're that deep into your depth chart. But when you look at what they have, bringing back Fowler, if Sam Williams can develop, Donovan Ezaraku looked really good at training camp. They're really deep at defensive end. Secondary still scares the crap out of me. I ain't going to lie. Defensive tackle, I know we just added one from Green Bay, but that's not a deep position. And, there's bodies there, but they're not necessarily great, right? But edge rush is one area where they were extremely deep. Are any of those guys, Micah Parsons, not even close?
No, of course not. But they're young and they're talented players. I think Marshawn Nealon was another one that they're counting on. But it's a good move in my mind. And I know everybody says they should have gotten more. Okay, well, maybe they should have. And I'll concede that. But I think for a variety of reasons, just for the Cowboys moving forward, if it doesn't help this year, just move forward. 4 first-round draft picks over the next 2 years. What the Cowboys do with that remains to be seen. But they're already $40 million plus under the salary cap now with this move.
Well, this year, which you don't get to carry over your remaining balance. So, and what I find interesting is something that Jerry Jones was talking about last night. And everybody's like, "Oh, they're in a rebuild now." They're not in a rebuild. You don't have the highest paid quarterback and a high-priced wide receiver and say you're in a rebuild. They don't make the George Pickens move because this year doesn't matter. And trading away Micah Parsons is not punting on the season, at least in the mind of Jerry Jones.
No, it's not. And again, but all the reasons we just talked about. Were the Cowboys a Super Bowl team this year with Micah Parsons? That's a question you need to ask yourself. And now they're in a position to go out and try to improve this team moving forward. Now, again, I'll concede, could they have gotten more? Perhaps. I don't know. And the trade would have happened earlier. We could go back and all kinds of different scenarios and go through this thing. The fact of the matter is Micah Parsons is gone. You've got what you've got. Now start looking to the future. What's this team going to do? People just want to complain about this thing and hate Jerry Jones. Go ahead and do that. But, I mean, it's done. It ain't no coming back. It's done.
The idea that how does it help this year's team? Are they in a rebuild? Jerry, no way should anybody think that this is a rebuild for the Cowboys.
We've certainly got a new coaching staff. And a third of all the players are new. And so obviously there is freshness. We'll use the word new on that basis. But we have the highest paid player in the NFL at quarterback. And we made that commitment last year, and we're proud we made it. It had everything to do with this decision. Everything. It is give us every opportunity with Dak Prescott and Lamb and the base that we've got to win now. And so all you need to do, this would, I'm not so sure this would have been results had we not had Dak. But the fact that we have Dak, we need to stop the run. We really do. We need to get the ball back.
Yeah, he's absolutely. That's been the weakest point of that defense. I don't know, for what, the last 3, 4, 5 years is stopping the run. We all thought when the Cowboys drafted Mozzie Smith that would be that was a great move. You and I both said so, and it hasn't turned out that way. So stopping the run is important, and the guy they got from Green Bay is known for doing just that.
And it's interesting, in the trade talks, getting a run stopper was kind of what Jerry said last night. Their one goal in a trade that included Micah Parsons.
Kenny Clark. We knew beginning, we really knew beginning this spring that if we could pick up a top interior defensive lineman just to offset not having a pass rusher, even though it's Micah, but where we're strong is in our pass rushing depth. And we knew if we could get an interior lineman, that was at least something that would improve us right there on a top interior lineman. He comes in strong for us, and he comes in accomplished for us. And so we're glad to have him. It was a prerequisite. We went down the teams, and we only picked teams that had room on their cap that could pay Micah, and we only picked teams that had top tackles, interior tackles, that we wanted to have any dialogue with at all about a trade. That was the criteria of trading. Top existing tackle that could come in here and play for us right now, this year, and offset the fact, to whatever degree, more or less, that we don't have that excellence that Michael Parsons has there, but we do have the depth to come in here and do that. And then if we could get the picks that we ultimately getting, and we did have several teams that we might have had an opportunity to do something with. We did have that. And so this was no instantaneous happening this afternoon over about a 5-minute period.
I find it interesting. And look, at whether you like the trade or not, or like Jerry Jones or not, obviously he's saying right now, and if you're Mozzie Smith, you got to feel about an inch tall. Mozzie, you suck.
Yeah.
So we needed some defensive tackle. Now, I think this Jay Toya is a guy for the future, and I think could become a pretty good player. But they wanted a guy that could stop the run right now. They feel like they can mask and be adequate at the pass rushing position, but you needed a guy to clog up the middle. And to Jerry, they won this trade. As far as he's concerned, They got their guy, and that's what they wanted. He was more important, Kenny Clark, than Micah Parsons was on the end.
And when you look at it, and again, we just tried to provide facts. We throw in a lot of opinion,
too. Of course.
But when I'm forming an opinion, I want to look at both sides and try to understand where he's coming from. Whether I agree with Jerry Jones or not, what is his reasoning? And they had other offers. Maybe there was an offer with more picks on the table. The priority for Jerry was somebody that can help this team right now, because it's not a rebuild. And if they don't stop the run, it doesn't matter. And when teams have a lead, they can run right at them, and your pass rush doesn't matter. And then your offense isn't getting the ball back, and you're getting killed on time of possession. Stephen Jones said last night, you can scheme a pass rush. You can't scheme stopping the run.
We have thought about this a lot, but the other thing came into play big was between Coach Schottenheimer and Coach Eberflus, and talking about the defense, and obviously getting a player like Kenny Clark. Is we also feel like, in addition to the depth, is you can scheme pressure as well. And I think Coach Eberflus has been really good at that in terms of using scheme to get pressure on the quarterback. But what's tough to scheme is to stop the run.
That's absolutely true, especially when the offensive line of the other team is kicking your defensive line's ass. And that's what's been happening over the last several years. Hopefully Kenny Clark can make a difference there, Jason. I just, comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page are all over the place, but mostly we only agree with Jerry Jones, and they don't. Everybody hates Jerry.
Well, and I don't agree with Jerry on this. I don't. But I can understand what his thought process was. I still think he could have gotten more. I really do think he could have gotten more. The other thing that pisses me off is he admitted, we've known this is a problem. And they never went out and addressed it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fix it in the offseason because Jerry Jones is not going to overpay for a free agent, which is mind-boggling, especially when you know that that is something of need. He just talked about the extraordinary need that they had in finding a run stopper. And when it was available to make a trade in the offseason, like you brought in a Pickens, they didn't do anything. Free agency. I'd have to go back and look and see what guys were available in free agency. They didn't address it there. And then you get Stephen Jones saying, we haven't won in the playoffs because we can't stop the damn run.
This is real. That's a big part of this. And that was a part of winning right now. And we feel like when you look at, the frustration is we hadn't been able to win the big game in the playoffs. And we think it is a direct connection to not being able to stop the run. And we think Kenny Clark's going to be a big piece to that. And we felt like because of our depth on the edge, as well as the ability to be able to scheme pressure, that we could make up for Micah, because obviously he's elite at rushing the passer, that we could make up for that. And then in addition to it, as Jerry said so well, is we do now have 2 ones in each draft over the next 2 years, and nothing says we can't use one of those to improve the team this year, which we wouldn't rule out this year.
Interesting.
It's admitting front office malpractice that you knew you had this big issue and you waited until a week before the draft and then included trading away your best player to help stop the run. It's amazing sometimes how much they just expose themselves for the idiocy in which they run their team. We've all known that they have been able to stop the run. And then you trade away Micah Parsons, and their whole reason for getting rid of Micah Parsons is this priority that they had that they did not address is in finding a run stopper.
Well, I'll agree with you on that. That is a need. Mozzie Smith, were they too loyal to this guy because they drafted him with the first-round draft pick? Were they hoping he would come in this year and be better than he has been? I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of when it comes to that. But I still believe, and I think you heard Jerry Jones earlier when they had the meeting with Micah and Mulligetta. I don't think Jerry Jones wanted to trade Micah Parsons. So everybody said, well, you should have done it in April. Well, he didn't want to trade him in April. He only traded him because Micah would not play in the final year of his contract. And that's what I believe when the decision was made. And that's when they started looking, because up until that point, Jerry, every interview he did, he was adamant, we're not trading Micah Parsons. So he could have got more back in April. He could have got more of this. He didn't want to trade Micah. That was not in the plan. I'm convinced of it.
But again, you wait till he could have waited till next year and had a pissed off Micah. Micah doesn't play. Micah's not playing for you now this year. The only difference is you do have a 2 first rounds and you got a defensive tackle. But in reality, you don't have Micah this year. You could have gotten more, but now you're going to tell on yourself by saying, yeah, we can't stop the run. We've known, we've been looking, and you haven't done a thing about it. That's
I can only imagine why. Look, if you draft the guy in the first round, he's had 2 horrible years. You're thinking maybe he comes into the third and he could be the guy. Obviously, they found out in training camp Mozzie is still Mozzie, and here we are today. But again, I'm convinced that this Micah Parsons thing happened. Jerry didn't want it to happen. It happened, and maybe it got too personal. Who knows? If you've got some thoughts on what happened with Micah Parsons, whether you're with the Cowboys or whether you are with Mike in this situation, we'd like to hear from you. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get Jason at Jason Minix on Twitter. I'm at Joe Reinagle 210. Or you can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page and comment there. Plenty of comments there to entertain yourself, if you will. We're live at Hero Stadium. It is a football Friday here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you think San Antonio sports, think 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Your home for the Cowboys. KTFM Floresville and SASportsStar.com.
Do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword Mike Rowe to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to SASportsStar.com now and register to win. SASportsStar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Good news for former UTSA standout running back Sincere McCormick. He's signing with the San Francisco 49ers practice squad. He spent last season with the Las Vegas Raiders playing 5 games, starting 2, and rushed for 183 yards. Tomorrow, the big one at the Horseshoe, 11 o'clock. Top-ranked Texas takes on third-ranked Ohio State. That one starts at 11. The Aggies, they'll host the UTSA Roadrunners. You can hear it right here.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On a football Friday, the first football Friday of this year, 2025. Love that. We're at Hero Stadium. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and of course, Minix has got the call tonight right here at Hero Stadium.
Yeah, Brennan Reagan, our quarter moon plumbing game of the week, energized by Hill Electric. Pregame at 7. That means Pledge gets to go an hour tonight. Kickoff at 7:30 here at Hero Stadium, and a great game to start the year because I know it's our game of the week. It's the Express News game of the week. It's the KSAT game of the week because, well, hell, it's the game of the week.
Game of the week,
yes.
Obviously, right? There is a consensus. That's good. I'm glad high school football back in action and getting the schedule underway. I always loved high school football, man. I mean, just coming out to the stadiums, and we'd always come out and do live shots out here, and just the Friday nights in general, the 10 o'clock news was so much fun.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Here in probably about an hour, we'll see all the TV stations coming to set up at the Alamo Bowl pigskin preview lunch that you forgot about this week.
I did, yeah.
Talking with Mark Mendez, who is a photographer at KSAT. And
an old photographer. He's been there about 50, 60 years, I think.
Maybe a little bit longer.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, Mark's old and cranky. But nothing better than when we were watching him and he couldn't find the open gate. And we were doing play-by-play, and the other photographers and news people that listen to us that were texting us either, A, don't text them and tell them that there's a gate open that he can't find, but that was just funny.
Yeah, that is
I'd
funny.
forgotten about that. He's still angry.
He's a great photographer. He's just he's a character. I will just say that. Mark Mendez. Yes. He is a character, and that's being nice.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say.
It's the nicest thing I can say on the radio. I love Mark Mendez. Good guy.
Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
You know, we had a lot of college football last night, and it's first game for everybody, right? Including security guards chasing people on the field. Now, when you read an article that there was a female streaker, you kind of expect, I don't know, streaker, nakedness.
There was none of that.
No,
she had on a nice thong-looking thing.
Spicy and naked.
No, that's the wrong lady.
Yeah, that was from a soccer game. Last night in the rain at the Central Florida game.
You all right?
Yeah, you found an example from a soccer game that was far better than what we saw running around. But the funny part was the cat-like skills that this lady had last night and the security guys that couldn't track her. And then finally, some dude just took her out. And I wondered, when you're watching this, were they trying to be gentle? Because they could clearly tell it was a lady and they didn't want to hurt her, until one guy was tired of running and said enough of that and sacked her the way Micah Parsons is going to crush Dak Prescott in week 4.
Well, I tell you what, this lady had more moves than
Jagger.
Yeah, I mean, she was good. She was making these old dudes miss, and then finally some guy just came out of nowhere and blindsided her. But yeah, it was funny as hell watching that lady. She was pretty good. Somebody ought to sign her.
Yeah. Sure. Sure. So, I'm fortunate enough to say that I've never had the police come up to my house with a warrant and raid it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of that. I'm sure most of you are proud of that. If it's happened to you, you probably don't brag about it. Well, there is a woman over in England whose house was raided. Apparently, the cops showed up because of some sort of drug suspicion, and they are going through her stuff because that's what apparently happens when they have those warrants. We all see it on TV, these crime shows, and you know how the cops just go through everything. And apparently, when they got to her underwear drawer, between her toys and her thongs, the cops turned into middle school boys and started acting like middle school boys with their undies and her toys, and she's offended by that.
Well, I agree with her. Now, if this is they're showing a picture of her underwear drawer, and
I don't know if that's her underwear drawer or just an underwear
It's
drawer.
not Rico, it's Frico.
Whoever it is, it's a pretty nice drawer. I'm just saying. So she ends up getting a divorce over this,
which I don't get.
Well, I don't know. Did her husband not know all these sex toys were in that drawer?
I don't know, but I mean, they either are a part of it or there's a reason she has all of them. Neither are good for him, right?
Neither one. She's divorced, but she got a settlement from the cops.
Well, because the investigation found the cops' behavior unacceptable and unprofessional, and they originally denied it. And then now they admitted to, because a body cam shows everything that they were doing. So these cops were also liars. But she ended up getting a cash settlement. And the other part of it is the raid ended with 0 arrests or charges. So whatever they were looking for, they didn't find it, and but they did have a good afternoon.
Well, they did until they didn't. And then now, so the police department or whoever had to pay her off. So she got divorced, but she got paid. So I'm sure she can find somebody else now.
Well, and again, I'm guessing if he didn't know about all those toys, she was probably thinking about some other dude anyway.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Or she was just in love with her toy. Sometimes you fall in love with the robotics because they're better than the guy. And I hate that, but, it's just a fact of life. Sometimes
you got to be a finisher.
Those robots have moves. Just the right spot.
Quit telling on yourself, Joe.
I'm not.
Clearly. Clearly you're not.
Well, yeah. So everything's fine. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I would hate to, have to compete with a robot.
So YouTube TV is reportedly considering adding a sports and broadcast package now that they've got that deal done with Fox, which if you have YouTube TV, it was a question whether or not Fox would be available to you for, Texas. They kick off tomorrow at 11 a.m. They got that deal done, so no worries. But now YouTube, which remember it was so cheap when it started?
Yeah.
And the cost keeps going up.
Now what it is, $85?
I don't know. I don't have it.
I think that's what it is.
I remember it was like 60 something.
Yeah, it was.
But now they might throw everything in a sports package and charge you even more,
Joe.
Joe.
They might, but I'm not going to pay for that.
Uh-huh.
I don't need that.
Well,
I have a magic box.
You don't need it now, but you've kept it.
Well, I've kept it, and I've kept it for a reason, because I only have one magic box, and I could move that from TV to TV, but that's a pain in the ass, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
And I like being able to watch stuff on my phone, and I can do that where you can't.
I can't. But, like on Southwest Airlines, they got free TV.
They do.
Although I have noticed in flying and hoping to watch a game, they don't have all the channels that you want.
That's true.
I think it was TNT. There was a playoff basketball game. I was in the air thinking I'd be able to watch it, and that channel wasn't available. I forget which one. And you're right. That's the one drawback. For me, it's a pretty minor drawback.
It is. But and Maggie uses her phone a lot too, out watching stuff, and I do that. For my problems, I don't own Southwest Airlines like you do. I got to pay the $8 for Wi-Fi if they don't have the game I want. Then I can get on my YouTube feed
for $8.
For $8, that's what Southwest charges.
Pay per view
for now.
Yes, for now.
But if there's a game I want to watch, I'll spend the $8 because I just probably spent 16 on a vodka and ginger ale.
More than that.
Whatever it is.
Man, so you got to pay for drinks and Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Dude.
Isn't that awful?
That is.
It's terrible.
Brutal.
It's all right.
Brutal.
It's okay. And look, if you get a chance to go see this, you need to. We talked about it early in the show. If you're just joining us, Nebraska played Cincinnati last night. Nebraska beat Cincinnati. I think it was 20-17. Taylor Swift was there with the Kelsey brothers. And after Nebraska beat Cincinnati, and I just found out, all truth be told, that the Kelsey brothers played at Cincinnati.
That's breaking news.
I did not know that, or forgot it. One of the two. Either way, doesn't matter. Obviously, they were there pulling for Cincinnati, their alma mater. Taylor Swift was there. After the game, some genius with the Nebraska social media department posted Instagram, whatever it was, of the Nebraska Cornhusker mascot with Taylor Swift, superimposed him over Travis Kelce for the engagement thing, and said a change of plans.
Uh-huh.
It was genius.
It was.
And now they're cowards because they got some pushback and they took it down.
Wimps.
If you're going to post something, have the stones to keep it up.
Everybody in the world is posting Taylor and Travis
exactly
in their city. I even saw they apparently were in Copperas Cove, Texas. They were in front of the Alamo in an Ancira Corvette. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Except for with a Cornhusker.
Well, I thought it was genius, and I laughed when I first saw it. Thought it was funny.
Uh-huh.
And apparently the Swifties didn't think it was funny. The hell's the matter with them? Lost their minds. We got some college football tomorrow that I can't wait to see. One game in particular, Texas, Ohio State, 11 o'clock. We're going to talk about that because somebody had the greatest headline, and you said it had been used before. First time I've seen it. It's Arch Madness. Nice little play on March Madness.
You like that?
I do like that.
The light bulb goes off all the time.
Arch Madness.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And it's a football Friday. We're at Hero Stadium. We got high school football on 94.1 coming up a little bit later tonight. But we'll talk a little college football when we return here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Arch Madness tomorrow. We've got college games tonight all weekend long. The NFL starting next Thursday. You want to have more fun watching these games, add excitement by playing the Pick'em game at Underdog. The best place to make picks and win money all season long. You can play in Texas. It's super fun and easy, and it's always great when your entries turn green and you see all that money showing up in your account. Because all you have to do is pick whether you think the player is going to go higher or lower than predicted stats. Rushing yards, touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, that sort of thing. Get all your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And you can play for as little as $1. Millions of fans have already won billions of dollars making picks on Underdog. Will you be next? Well, just download the Underdog app, sign up, use my promo code STAR when you do to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. Again, use promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money.
Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
You work hard to provide for yourself and your family, and that's why identity theft is so scary. Not only does it pose a threat to your financial well-being, everything you've worked so hard for, but it's also a danger to your family. Even children can be victims. It's not their money thieves go after, obviously, but their social security number. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Act now and save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me."
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Have you or a loved one been arrested, Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
The Aggies play here. This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, will join us at the bottom of the hour. Opening day at College Station. They'll take on our UTSA Roadrunners in game one. We'll talk to Andrew about that ball game coming up here at the bottom of the hour. In the meantime, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We are live at Hero Stadium, site of the opening night of high school football. The opening Friday night of high school football, certainly. But the opening night for Mr. Minix and company as they broadcast live right here on 94.1.
Yeah, Brennan and Reagan coming up tonight. Our Quarter Moon Plumbing high school game of the week, energized by Hill Electric. And top 10 matchup in the city, or really top 5 matchup in the city. Brennan's ranked 3, Reagan 5. It'll be interesting. Preston Meyer, new head coach for the but he's been there as the defensive coordinator for 4 years, got elevated when Coach Hamilton left for Gonzalez. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like tonight for Reagan, anything different for the Rattlers, but they've got to bring in a new quarterback, new running back. Yeah, you know, their quarterback from last year is at Air Force. The running back, Cole Pryor, is out there at Texas State. While the Brennan Bears, who averaged like 1,000 points a game last year, they returned their dual threat quarterback, and that dude is good and only a junior.
Let me tell you something. Brennan is always going to be there. I mean, Coach Baszler does a hell of a job with the Brennan Bears, and he always has since he got there. So they're going to be tough tonight. It's going to be a good game. So you ought to have a really good call right here at Hero Stadium.
And then, of course, tomorrow, 11 a.m., the game that we're all waiting for,
yes.
and that is Texas-Ohio State. Although pregame, not often I put on game game day. It's on,
sure,
but I don't.
Kind of background noise.
Yes, yeah. Tomorrow might be a little different, and I'm supposed to go to a party. and now, granted, you know, after Vegas last week. This has been the longest week of weeks, right? With everything going on at the radio station and whatnot. And then, first game tonight, I might just be a slug tomorrow. And, I know I'm supposed to go to a party. It's at 11, but I just might hit the recliner and crack a beer early and not move. I don't know. But also because I want to watch game day.
Sure.
All the stuff this week on ESPN about Lee Corso's final game and the stories, what he means, his lasting impact on college football. Now, if I do go to my buddy's house, I'll be there in time to see the headgear that Lee Corso chooses tomorrow, because I know it's going to be Bevo.
Well, we'll see what he chooses tomorrow, Lee Corso. Now, think about this. This will forever be known as his final headgear.
Yep.
So if he picks a loser tomorrow, whoever he picks and they lose, it's not a good look. They might have to bring him back next week.
No, I mean, and it's interesting because it's such a great game, and there's going to be so much focus on Lee Corso as opposed to the start of college football season. It will be interesting to see how they balance it out. And, this week we had Wednesday night, I was watching KSAT for Steve Spreester's final broadcast, and I thought they did a great job of mixing in news and Spreester stories, similar to what Ken's Five did not too long ago at Deborah Knapp on her final newscast as she went into retirement. It'll be interesting to see with Corso, because there's so many hours of that show as opposed to trying to do it in 30 minutes, how they weave in and out of Lee Corso stories and tributes versus all the games that they have to get to, because it's not just Texas and Ohio State that's a big one. There are some really great matchups this weekend.
Well, no kidding. I mean, you just think about LSU and Clemson. That's going to be a good game. You've got, obviously UTSA and Texas A&M. You've got that going. And I mean, there's some good football games tomorrow. And I love the fact that they've scheduled some of these games to start the season. Pledge is reminding everybody on our YouTube page that we have that Texas game tomorrow beginning at 10:30 right here on 94.1.
We do?
We do. That's what Pledge is putting up right here.
You'd think we'd promote that.
Well, you would think so, too. Is that accurate, Pledge?
That's accurate.
Okay. All right. So, because we do, in all fairness, behind the curtains, we have access to a lot of the games through Westwood One. But because of our commitment to Texas A&M, sometimes those early games you can't carry because you've got not only the Texas A&M pregame show, but their postgame show that you have to account for. I'm going to guess here, Pledge, that because it's an 11 a.m. game and the Aggie game isn't until 6, broadcast at 5, that we're able to clear that entire game. So that certainly does make a lot of sense. So not only tomorrow will you have the Longhorns game, then you'll have the Aggies game against UTSA. Pledge, tell me, over the weekend, there's games on Sunday and Monday, some pretty good ones there. Are we going to have those games?
We will have a game that just got added today because of the Rangers going away for Sunday. We're going to have college football on Sunday, Virginia Tech, South Carolina at 1:30.
All right. That'd be a decent matchup, you can listen to. But look, it's all about tomorrow for me because I'll watch college football all weekend. Don't get me wrong, but and then as I've been told, the Bill Belichick Bowl is Monday night.
Yes,
I'm interested to watch that too, and I think a lot of people are, just to see it and see how he does coaching in college. That'll be interesting to see. But dude, tomorrow is just outstanding, and I can't wait for that football. I get excited for football games, particularly, throughout the schedule. But this one, man, and for a number of reasons. Number one, the matchup, Texas, Ohio State. But I can't wait to watch Arch Manning and see how he plays in this game. And I feel bad for the young man because I think he's in a no-win situation. I mean, if he falls flat, if he plays poorly, people are going to hammer him. If he plays well, it's like, well, we told you, it's Arch Manning. So I think he's in a no-win situation at this point in time.
It's interesting because we were talking with Bob Ballou, our Longhorn insider, the other day, and Mac Brown was on with Rich Eisen earlier, and both said that they expect Arch to play above expectations. How in the hell does Arch Manning play above expectations when he is the preseason Heisman favorite, right? I mean, unless he goes out there and is 25 of 25 for 384 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions, how do you play above expectation if you're Arch Manning? So, yeah, the bar is extremely high. Can he live up to expectations? Can he come close to it? But what I love about Arch Manning is he doesn't seem like he gives a damn. He's not going to be bothered one way or the other when it comes to what is being said about him.
I found it interesting. Colt McCoy was asked about Arch Manning, and he said he's talked to him this past week, and he said he's ready to go, ready to play. And he said, look, it was just like me or anybody else that's played quarterback at Texas. That's why you go to Texas, to play in games like this against Ohio State. And then they get to go on the road, he said, to Florida. They go on the road to Georgia this year. So there's some big games besides this one coming up, and SEC football games that are going to be good. So he said Arch is ready to go. And he's calm, and the pressure doesn't seem to bother him at all.
No, and again, growing up a Manning probably helps a lot. The fact that he wasn't thrust in as a freshman. He's gotten to sit there for a couple of years, learn, be in the big games, at least be in the moment in stadiums where it's loud, even though he wasn't playing, but he's practiced a lot. ready? He better be ready.
Yeah, he better be.
If he were a true freshman, I would be a lot more nervous for Arch Manning. And then you look at just knowing how much money is riding on this game for other people. Now, I think we all know that there's a lot of money being bet on these college games.
Sure.
And it's not just, the 25 or 100 that your buddy has or that you have, because normally we don't hear any kind of specific amounts on a game. But we know there's lots of money being wagered. They probably know there's lots. But imagine just knowing some dude dropped $500,000 plus on your game, on you to win, because that literally moved the line at Circa Las Vegas, and some of the other books have followed suit. But Circa was the first to make Texas a favorite. And as the Circa owner, Derek Stevens, said on VSIN, it's because of one guy.
I see a -1 by Texas. You guys, as of right now, are the only book, I believe, in the world that has Texas as a favorite. What has that action been like, and what do you expect as we get closer to Saturday for that monster showdown between Texas and Ohio State?
Well, I was sitting in my desk and I saw it come across the ticker. It was pretty straightforward.
That's just, as a matter of fact,
550,000 on Texas +1. So we blew through the pick. We went the other way. So now we got Texas as a 1. Looking for some buyback.
So Texas, $550,000. Texas +1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a matter of fact. Yeah. I think that's great. And look, Derek, $550,000 to Derek Stevens. Somebody betting that's nothing. And we can sit here and say, oh, that's a lot of money, and it is a lot of money. But to have it change the line that way on my little app here that I like to place bets on, it's a pick'em. So Derek Stevens, they may be right. The Circa may be the only sports book that has Texas as a favorite. Right
I've seen where some other ones have gone and followed suit because everybody's going to look for the money, right? And I thought it was interesting. Just when you're listening to Derek, you learn a little bit about the business side of what they're in. All right, we need to move the line. We need some buyback. We need money coming back the other way to help even some stuff up. Yeah, I mean he's a billionaire, but somebody wins that bet at $500,000. That's not a good day in the office. You can, for one guy, I mean,
that's incredible.
And I mean,
dude, I just like to have that amount of money where I could walk into Circa and place that amount of a bet.
That's just FU money.
That's exactly what it is.
It really
exactly
is.
what it is. Well, we're about to talk to a guy with FU money, aren't we?
Yeah, Andrew Monaco. Oh, he's got all that Aggie money.
Aggie money. He is the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. They're taking on the UTSA Roadrunners tomorrow. By the way, that line is coming down, and it has been steadily coming down. So what does that tell you? We're going to talk to Andrew when we return live from Hero Stadium here on 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, let me tell you about Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and they've been in business forever. And, they got to be doing it right if they're staying in business this long. A lot of satisfied customers. The beauty of Stevens Roofing, being a local company, is the fact that they understand how the weather in San Antonio affects your roof. They understand it because they live it just like you and I do. So they know what they're talking about. And here's what you need to do. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Have them send a crew out to your house to inspect your roof, just to make sure that everything is okay. I know you're like me sometimes. You walk outside in the front yard, you kind of look up and you see, I wonder what's going on up there with my roof, or what's going on over there. I need to give Stevens Roofing and Solar a call, just like you may have to do that. Have them come out, let them do it for free. They will. They'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know if everything's okay, or if that little thing up there is normal. That's what I need them to tell me. Or maybe they'll tell you, it's about time you think about changing your roof completely. Either way, you're going to give you that peace of mind that you need and you want. Stevens Roofing is the company that will do that for you, and you can trust what they have to say. Give them a call, 210-785-0994, or you can visit them online at stevensroofing.net.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Golf Classic is back, baby. Get the crew together. Guys, gals, the whole gang. And join us Monday, September 29th at Olympia Hills Golf Club for a laid-back day full of swings, laughs, and a little friendly trash talk. It's just $120 per player or $400 for a foursome. A steal for a day on a beautiful course with your buddies. Proceeds benefit the Community Foundation of the Hill Country. But don't worry, this isn't a stuffy tournament. No blazers, no pressure, just cold drinks, good vibes, and unforgettable memories. Presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and sponsored by Flight by England and PPL Motorhomes. Then, once you've conquered the course, we'll keep the party rolling at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, where the drinks are cold, the food is hot, and the stories are even better. Get ready to tee off on the best Monday you'll have all year. Grab your spot now at sasportstar.com.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran-owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesometix.com.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything you need. More than 135 degree and certificate programs, online and hybrid courses, dedicated success coaches, and more from a top military and veteran trusted university for over 75 years. Classes start soon. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the OrthoNow Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. OrthoNow provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, OrthoNow has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
How far is too far? In the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, that's up to you. Powered by a new 1.6-liter Turbo 4 engine, it's the iconic SUV, reimagined to put today's adventures and tomorrow's dreams in reach. So go ahead, keep the good times going. The all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
This Thursday, September 4th, is a one-of-a-kind whiskey and food experience at the historic Pearl. It's a Garrison Brothers Whiskey Stroll. Sip unique whiskey cocktails and enjoy chef-curated bites throughout the Pearl District. Featuring pairings from Southerly Fine Food and Brewery, Southerly Oat South, The Boiler House, Brasserie Montchouchou, and Casa Nova Barbecue. The Garrison Brothers Whiskey Stroll is this Thursday and tickets are limited. Get yours by visiting gb-tx.com/pearl. That's gb-tx.com/pearl.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6. The Aggies take on the UTSA Roadrunners. Presented by Just Punts. Pre-game at 5 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Love being out at Hero Stadium. That's where we are live. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Means that it is football season. Also means it's football season when we get to talk to this guy.
Yeah, Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Andrew, I'm not sure if that promo ran while you were about to come on by accident or Pledge did on that on purpose, but either way, it's almost game day.
I want to say that if that Pledge did do it on purpose, and he deserves a raise.
Well, like the rest of us, he's out of luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell Pledge I tried.
Yeah. Hopefully he's listening. It's part of his job. But, we all try.
That's exactly right.
You think about this opener, and it's different for us here in San Antonio because obviously you guys, the Aggies, playing host to the UTSA Roadrunners. We follow both programs very closely. I think there's a lot of fans right now that are diehard Aggies that also root for the Roadrunners kind of as their secondary team. It's kind of odd for, I think, a lot of people and who they're actually rooting for in this one tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, in-state, Mike Elko talked about this. Anytime you have the in-state matchup, coach is very similar, right? I think they impose. It's funny, I asked Mike about this, about other coaches, and I almost need to ask other coaches about him. What Jeff Traylor has done when you look at the roster breakdown, and he absolutely loves those Texas kids, and they play the way Jeff Traylor wants to play. And now in the 6th season, you can see. And the other thing that gets me is these two programs went in different directions at the end of the year. Where UTSA struggled in the beginning of the year, really found their stride by the end of the year. The Aggies got off to the great start and then stumbled down the stretch. Week 1 is a week of questions that you hope will get answered, right? And maybe some answers that you already know, and there's some quiet confidence. But, you're exactly right, especially in that city of San Antonio. You know how many Aggies are there, and now in the 15th year for UTSA, how many people have wanted to see that program succeed, and they've done a wonderful job there.
Well, I think this is a great opener, Andrew. I really do. And folks are excited about watching this football game and listening to you call this football game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's funny that you say that. The first game, because college football, there are no preseason games. So you have to trot out in that first game and find out what you got. Jeff Traylor mentioned that, where his offense, a lot of guys are back, but that defense is rebuilding. What are the Aggies looking at going into this first game? Where do they think maybe they have some weak spots?
The weak spots up front, the weak spots are, now look, they went out and acquired talent, and that's the word we can use now in college, at wide receiver, and they had to upgrade. And Mike Elko has said this: you have got to have not just SEC talent across the board, you have to have NFL talent if you're going to succeed in the SEC. By going and getting Casey Concepcion on the outside, getting Mario Craver from an SEC school at Mississippi State, you certainly hope that you have upgraded there. I think the wide receivers in the past have been average, and I don't think you can succeed by being just average at wide receiver. Now, what has really been key is Marcel Reed, the quarterback. He went out and he helped recruit those guys. And Casey Concepcion from NC State, because Mike had to scheme against him while he was at Duke. There was a little bit that he knew, and that, look, every school wanted Casey Concepcion. That was one of the things that put him over the top and had him come here to Texas A&M. I don't think the D-line is a question. I really don't after watching them in camp. But when you lose Nick Scorton and Shamar Turner and Shamar Stewart to the NFL draft, I can see on the outside how that could be a question. But I love that Cassius Howell is back. I love who they have brought in as well. TJ Searcy from Florida, SEC defensive end. Tayon Hayes, who comes in, he played at Colorado and he played at Pitt. And some of these young guys who kind of bubbled under and got playing time, but got that first start in the bowl game against USC, the Ryland Kennedys, those kind of guys. I'm really excited. In that interior, to have DJ Hicks and Albert Regis come back, that's been an important aspect of Texas A&M's D-line. Again, on the outside looking in, I think it may end up being a strength for A&M.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, Jeff Traylor told us earlier this week, Andrew, if UTSA upset the Aggies, he would do a backflip down on the Riverwalk into the San Antonio River. You look at this, should be one of those games, right? And A&M should win this easily. The line is about a little more than 3 touchdowns, depending on where you look. But we also know the Aggies have lost these games, and they've been in some games where they're a little bit closer. What does A&M have to do? What's the biggest fear for Mike Elko and the Aggies coming into this one?
The fear is that this is a UTSA offense that has been together and extremely talented. When you have 4 of the 5 offensive linemen coming back, when you have all those wide receivers coming back, and you have a featured running back as well, and a quarterback that knows how to get all of them involved. The tight ends for UTSA, I'll tell you what, Mike Elko, because Houston Thomas played here at College Station High School, and Mike's son Michael was at high school at the same time. But talking about Houston Thomas, he said, look, that is an NFL tight end. And I know we're going to see 2 tight ends at time. All 3 of them on their depth chart are terrific. That's what scares you when you look at that challenge. And then I think it's the unknown on the defense. Like, I know it's 11 new guys and they have played, but they haven't started. How will they play? That's what we find out in those 60 minutes of football. And that's what Mike was saying on Monday was week 1 is a lot of adjustments. You can expect a lot of things to happen, but you never know. Like you have new guys. So do you look at where they came from, but do you look at the system that UTSA has played, which is a hybrid of a 3-2-6 or a 3-3-5, if you will? Do you look at it that way? But sometimes you have to make the adjustment where A&M has also an advantage, and where I think they have confidence is they have a lot returning on both sides of the football. They have the entire running back room coming back. Le'Veon Moss, I thought, was one of the best running backs in the SEC before he went down against South Carolina. This offensive line, all of them are back. And now I can't discount this, and talking with Mike about this, Marcel Reed now knows what it's like to be QB1. It's one thing to be a backup, and it's one thing to be a backup and take over. Now it's completely different. Like everything that goes with it, the leadership, the time management, all of that. That's what Marcel, and this is a team that believes in him. 8 of the 11 coming back on defense, especially on that at linebacker and on that back end, could be really special. And you guys know when that front 4 and that back 7, when they play in concert, it can be a really good defense. But that defense is going to be challenged by UTSA.
I'm looking forward to the game. Going back to Marcel Reed, Andrew, when you look at him, what differences do you see in this young man from last year to this year?
Between the ears, Joe, if that makes sense. I think he understands that he is physically gifted. He can that athleticism. And Mike joked last year, anytime that you, in the old days, when you used to call a quarterback a dual threat, that meant he couldn't throw. Not any longer, right? That's not the case any longer. But I think he relied so much on the athleticism. But what he did last year with Colin Klein was really learn and digest that playbook. That, you know what, there were some plays last year that were successful, that were the absolute wrong plays that were run. But he was just so athletic that he was able to get away with them. He's throwing the ball way better than he has. It's funny. I think it was. I think it was Concepcion had come in during the recruiting visit, and they were just tossing it back and forth informally. And KC went to Mike Elko and said, this kid can really spin it. I think that confidence that he has, where it's not always, okay, I don't see what I want. He's going to sit in the pocket a little bit more. And I'm going to use an old Jimbo Fisher line. He's going to throw his receivers open. And I think that's where he has really taken that next step. Yes, he can run. Yes, he's going to be part of the run game, but I think he trusts himself a little bit more because He has so much a much better understanding of the playbook and what the other 10 guys on his offense need to do.
Andrew Monaco, voice of the Aggies, here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You can hear Andrew broadcast the Aggies Roadrunners game right here tomorrow night, starting at 5 here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I don't want to beat the dead horse, Andrew, because I know we've talked about this on air and privately. I'm still surprised Marcel Reed is QB1 of the Aggies. I thought with all the money available to A&M that they would have gone out and found a different quarterback. And your answer to me privately and on the air has been, Mike Elko believes in him. That coaching staff believes in him. And if they didn't go replace him, I've got to go with that. So I'm glad to hear the improvements that you've seen in fall camp, because now he's got to go live up to that kind of hype, because I'm not the only one that thought the Aggies, especially a lot of my Aggie buddies, are surprised that Marcel Reed is still QB1. Is there a pressure that he has hearing that kind of noise?
That's all that goes with that position, Jason, if that makes sense. That's all part of it, right? And you either, that's why we've talked in the past about guys who have it or don't have it. And that is all part, and again, I guess it's pressure if you're not prepared. And I think that's where Marcel has really learned that preparation comes every single day there, on and off the field. And not just Mike, not just Colin Klein, not just Trooper Taylor, who has the running backs. This is a team that believes in Marcel Reed. This is a defense that has to go up against Marcel every day. And they're the ones who at times are getting embarrassed, and at times are iron sharpens iron, making Marcel better. But that's the key. And when you saw Connor Wigman go to Houston, that let you know how it was for Marcel. What's going to get lost a little bit is, Marcel at the end of his first year ends up playing in that Oklahoma State game, the Texas Bowl, right? Because Jalen Henderson gets hurt on the first snap. Marcel was 4 that year and was ready, and it was a great performance. Last year, everybody expected Jalen Henderson to be the backup quarterback. Marcel worked himself and did such a job in camp. He won the number 2 spot last year and then was ready for number 1. Here's what's different. He's at the top of everybody's scouting report now. Again, if you remember going into week 3 against Florida, Mike Elko was saying, I'm not telling Marcel he's starting on Saturday. I'm going to tell him right before the kickoff. I don't want him to get too worked up. And if you remember that he was a bad matchup against Missouri, that's why Connor Wigman was the guy against Missouri. It was a better matchup. Well, guess what? Now everybody is preparing for Marcel. If Missouri didn't prepare for Marcel last year and LSU didn't look like it prepared for Marcel Reed, they will now all week. And of course, there is that's the pressure that comes with QB1, that you have to perform because he's the guy that you have to stop for Texas A&M. Now, here's the other thing. He's got a big luxury of being able to hand off to a healthy Le'Veon Moss and hand off to a healthy Reuben Owens this year. That's going to help. Use those weapons that they have. I haven't even talked about the tight ends. It's basically a brand new tight end room. And I think that's going to help Marcel as well.
Andrew, when you look at this team and specifically Mike Elko and what he has done, and I think he's trying to put his stamp on this team, and I think he's done that to some extent. Yeah, do you see a difference in him? I'll ask you the same question I did about Marcel Reed from last year coming into this year. Is he doing anything different, or has that culture changed a little bit?
The culture has changed, and that changed in year number 1, Joe, because his Mike is honest without being personal, and I hope people understand about that, how that is, and the players love that. And by getting some guys out that they had to get out, if you talk with the players, they will say that. I think that's what gets lost in year number 1 is, yes, I understand what the record was, but there was an awful lot that was done behind the scenes. And look, you can talk culture all you want. Players set cultures, not coaches, right? They can set that tone. The players do it. I'm not going to say Mike is going to be different in year 2, Joe. What I think is different is in year 1, even your veteran guys were still learning what to do under Mike Elko. Now in year 2, the Torian Yorks, the Cassius Howes, the Le'Veon Mosses, now can be those leaders. They're not all learning at once. They have that under their belt. They can help the transfers. They can help the young guys. They can lead. What I like about the players who have returned is you're not saying, man, I wish they had transferred. These are the guys that you want back, leading your team and leading your team, into this season. There are always going to be expectations. Mike will never run from those, but for him, this is how we do it. And I think he's got a quiet confidence for this group going forward.
Andrew, aside from what's happening on the field, anything new and different planned for those going to College Station for the games? Anything planned new and different for the broadcast for those listening along the network and here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star?
Please have your tickets and your parking on your phone. It is all digital now. So I guess at a certain age group, we're resistant of that. And you know what? Later on in the year, I'll go on a rant with you guys. I kind of miss tickets, but that's another story. There's that. As for the broadcast, you know what? There's not going to be a ton of changes. There really isn't. I've got the same crew, and I'm absolutely spoiled with all of those guys. I'm looking forward to that for certain. Dave and I together for, this is our 8th year together, and Will on that sidelines. And look, you're just going to hear an awful lot of the student athletes over the course of our broadcast. We can do that as much as possible if you can hear from them. And tomorrow you're going to hear Will goes one-on-one with Marcel Reed, and you'll hear from Will Lee. That will be in the pregame show. And we get Mike just before the game as well. So look, again, always that anticipation. I'm interested to see if Miss Rev will come out with an eye patch. If she does, Kyle Field is going to explode.
Wow.
That will be something after having that eye surgery. We'll see how that is. I'm sure, she is going to get maybe the loudest yell of everybody, but no, looking forward to this. And I think this group, and I'm going to say the same thing for UTSA, as you guys all know in camp, you get to a certain point in camp where you're not hitting somebody else. There's the dog days right there in the middle. I think players can't wait for game week, and they get to play another uniform on Saturday. And this one's going to be really, really fun.
Will you broadcast with an eye patch in solidarity with Reveille?
Man, I would have to find, you know what? If I did that, should I just go full monocle like Colonel Klink and try to do it? I don't. But I don't know how to use binoculars with just one eye. You know what I mean? But
you get a telescope.
Like Captain Ahab.
Like a golf ball finder.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
A range finder. That's
range finder. Yeah.
You need to have a parrot on your shoulder and a peg leg too, Andrew. I mean, come on, the whole thing.
Absolutely. You guys have been on the 8th floor at Kyle Field. I don't know if a telescope's going to be enough for me.
Well, the Hubble. They can borrow the Hubble telescope.
The Hubble. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that press box is in another zip code.
It really is. It really is. What's the buzz like there at College Station? I mean, I know it's UTSA. It's not a huge game in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But what's the buzz like?
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can just tell you right now, student ticket pull, 40,000 were pulled for this week. And if you remember last year, and I know you don't like to compare, but last year this place was just under 103,000 for the average attendance for the season. Now you guys know this is absolutely special, and any chance you get to kick off a season and with the excitement that is around it. I've said this before, guys. It's not the only place. Like, I get it. But I truly believe this is a bucket list place. If you are a college football fan, you need to see a game here, an experience here. Again, it's not the only place. There are a lot of places in college football, but I think this is one. It's always special. And I think, obviously, the 12th man understands when they run out to power, it's going to shake. Thank God it's an engineering school because it doesn't fall down. You know what I mean? But that's just how special this place is. And again, I don't think it matters, who is playing. I don't think it doesn't always have to be Notre Dame to kick off the season. That's just the way Texas A&M fans are. It's Saturday night at Kyle Field is always something special.
Best atmosphere I've ever been to, Andrew. There's no question.
Is
I've
it
been
really,
to several, but it really is. Best atmosphere for a college football that I've ever been to.
I've got a Longhorn on my shirt right now, and I can say the same thing. I have more fun at Aggie games than anywhere else.
No question about it.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not the only place. You know what I mean?
No,
but I think it's carved a great niche. You know what I mean? Like I think it's one of those. If you wanted to go around the country, right? You want to go to West Point, right? You want to see You want to see a game there, whether it's Ohio State, whether it's Michigan, maybe you like Alabama, Death Valley at LSU on a Saturday night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think it's one of those, and it's never. I don't think there's ever a down game. You know what I mean? Like, there are times where the team may not be, but the 12 man still shows up, and I think that's another reason why it makes it so special.
Andrew Monaco with a very classy way of saying they always win the tailgate.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Andrew, have a great call tomorrow, my friend, right here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star.
Great talking to you both. Thank you, my friends.
Appreciate it. Andrew Monaco on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online. buyersbarricades.com.
Love that guy, man. He's one of the best in the business. I can't believe it's been 8 years already. Is that what he said?
Yes,
8 years.
Yeah.
That he's been the voice of the Aggies. That's fantastic. Love that guy. Jason Minix is a play-by-play guy, and he's got a game tonight right here at Hero Stadium. Brennan and Reagan will take the field out here tonight. He'll have the call for you starting at 7 o'clock right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Little things going on at the Star in Frisco.
Wow, that drama's over.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, Micah's a Packer now.
Well, let's talk Packer football then. What do you say? When we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You got college football tonight. You got college football tomorrow starting at 11 with that Longhorn game, the Aggie Roadrunner game at 6. No better place to watch than the Roo Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. With those three massive 170-inch screens, TVs all around, get into the Roo Pub and go hungry because the food is fantastic. The biggest and best wings in town. I love their fried shrimp. I had their steak quesadillas last night. Incredible. They got about 15 different burgers on the menu. Love the fried shrimp. They've got great salads, I'm told. Their appetizers, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Roo Pub at 281 and Redland Road. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 and Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
You're listening to The Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Football is back, and so is the action on Prize Picks. With millions of members and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROAM and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Hey, bro. Weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
San Antonio, join the 210 Challenge and help UTSA football pack the Alamo Dome this season. Just $210 gets you a pair of club-level season tickets to watch all 6 Roadrunners home games this season. You can't beat this deal. $210 for a pair of season tickets. Log on to goutsa.com/tickets or call the UTSA ticket office at 210-458-8872 to purchase your tickets today. Because when we win, San Antonio wins.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Former UTSA standout running back Sincere McCormick signing with the San Francisco 49ers practice squad. Played last season with the Las Vegas Raiders. He played in 5 games, started 2 of those, rushed for 183 yards. Big college football weekend. Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, top-ranked Horns take on the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes at the Horseshoe. Aggies take on UTSA at 6 o'clock. You can listen to that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And it is a football Friday. We're live at Hero Stadium getting ready for some high school football here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hope all of you are having a great Friday afternoon wherever you may be, whatever you're doing, and however you're listening. We appreciate it. I'm Joe Reinagel. That is Jason Minix.
And it is a great football Friday, a Frito Pie Friday, however you want to look at it. It's August, still a little bit hot. And I just saw something on Facebook. I saw this yesterday, but with all the Micah news, I never brought it up, but I haven't seen this really in the news. But a buddy of ours posted on Facebook about a new ice bar that is coming to San Antonio. And I guess because I commented on it, I just got an alert for Facebook, and that's putting it back in my mind. Have you ever gone to the ice bar in Las Vegas?
Never have, no.
At some point, you got to leave the bubble.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
Although I'm curious, for those of you that have been to the ice bar in Las Vegas, and I don't know where else they have these, we're getting one in San Antonio. Now, it's cliche to say it's cool because it's frozen.
Right.
I will admit, we went into that thing with some friends. They wanted to go. I really didn't want anything to do with it because I don't like to be cold.
Right.
I was in there for about 10 minutes.
That's it. It's cold?
With about 8 minutes too long.
Really?
My buddies were in there for about 45.
Really?
But when you go in, all these cool ice sculptures, and the photos on Facebook looks like there's like a cool Alamo, and you got a full bar in there. But they give you those big-ass coats and gloves, and it's an ice bar.
Okay. I don't understand the point.
It's gimmicky.
Well, I guess.
But the point is, you get none-degree weather and you go have a drink.
Well,
now, I would say, if you're walking around the Riverwalk today, jumping into the ice bar for a little while probably would be pretty refreshing.
Well, maybe so. Is it open yet?
No, it doesn't open for about 6 weeks.
Okay.
Is what I'm told on Facebook.
So when it's starting to get cold here, going to the ice bar.
Well, again, I mean, cold here relative when you consider the tourists that come here, but it's just another cool thing, pun intended, that's going to be on the Riverwalk. Apparently, the river level near where the Aztec Theater is at is where it's going to be.
You know, I find that fascinating, and I'd love to. How do they keep those? I mean,
because it's 9 degrees inside.
Well, I get that, but I mean, they've got to have like stuff in the floor, and how do you make the ice? And you got little molds,
ice machines,
stuff in?
Yes, yeah, molds, exactly.
Wow.
But even like the tables, but you can walk around, look at stuff, all these different ice sculptures,
and freeze your ass off.
Well, I mean, you get a coat and you get gloves. I did. And
I may have to experience it.
And you have overpriced drinks because it's cool. It's like when you go into the place where the robot makes your drink, and you realize the robot's not going to have a heavy pour, and you're paying a lot more for a robot giving you a drink versus a human giving you a drink.
Well, yeah,
and you still tip them.
That's what I don't like about the robot. Because they're precise. Yeah, you get a good bartender. They're kind of like, woo,
well, I mean, a little heavy pour.
Which
is what we're always looking for.
Yeah, I shouldn't say this because I don't know if Chip is listening, but the bartenders at the Angry Elephant are great.
They are. You realize you're paying for doubles.
Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But it's the Angry Elephant.
Don't get Bree in trouble.
I'm not. I love Bree. She's fantastic. So everybody down there is great at the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant. It's a great place.
Absolutely. But apparently a nice bar.
All right. Well,
coming to
still don't see
the Riverwalk.
But okay. I may have to
Have you
check
ever
it out.
gone into any kind of theme, anything?
Well,
sometimes it's just the whole get off my lawn thing. What's the point of this?
I don't understand the point of an ice bar. What the hell's the point of it?
Fun and different.
I want to go and be cold. It's like, okay, sure, honey, pack up. Let's go. We're going to the ice bar. I don't understand that. I mean, somebody explain it to me. If you're on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, why would you go
I'll
there?
ask you another question I know the answer to. All
right.
Have you ever done that big Ferris wheel in Las Vegas?
I never have. No, I haven't. I would do that.
You would do that?
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, you know what that is.
I don't.
It's a money grab too.
Oh, is it?
So we did that at my daughter's birthday when she turned 21 with all the kids. So you get on there. It takes about 45 minutes. There's a bar in there. All you can drink in about 45 minutes.
Really?
Oh yeah.
There's a bar in the Ferris wheel?
Every one of those big old bubbles. There's a bar in there.
Really?
Yes. And as much as you can drink in 45 minutes.
And
it's a challenge.
What's the cost of something like that?
I don't remember.
It's pricey though.
I think you buy a ticket to get on there, and
do you buy drinks? So you got to.
I think you just tip. There's a bartender in there.
Oh, there is.
I want to say I don't want to say it's all you can drink or one price. I really don't remember because it was all you can drink in 45 minutes. So, but I whatever the cost is to get on there. Whatever we had, it was unlimited drinks.
So it includes that.
Yeah, but how much can you drink? And of course, the bartender might be a little slow depending on how much you're tipping.
Sure, exactly.
Yes,
and
But again, sometimes you got to get out of your bubble.
If I want to go see touristy things, I'll go somewhere else. I want to ride a Ferris wheel.
Dude, I have seen you gamble. There's times where you should probably leave.
I should but it's always that next time. It might be the boom.
Brian Engel's goal is to always get back to even.
Exactly. Exactly. There's sometimes. See, this last trip, I did poorly, okay, very well, and then poorly again. So
back to even.
No.
Yeah, you're up.
Actually, came back with a little of theirs.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was good. Dude, I'm not going to go be a tourist in Las Vegas. I'm sorry, I'm not.
But sometimes it's good to get away from.
Well, sometimes it is.
Just for an hour or two.
Well, no,
your wallet needs to break. Your liver's not getting a rest.
I'll walk over to the bar and sit there and watch a game or something.
Yeah,
I can do that.
Yeah, no, you
Especially
won't.
At Circa, yeah.
Because you got to pay for your drinks at the bar.
Well, you do.
So
that sucks.
You can get a free one. Now granted, you're at a machine, so it ain't really free. Especially the way you're playing, it would be cheaper somewhere else.
Well,
like at the bar.
Well, the bar would be cheaper than what I'm playing. Exactly right. I need to go pay for those drinks. I've done that before, especially at Circa, because they have some really cool bars. The one on the second level there is nice, and then they've got the long one down. It's
literally called the long bar.
The long bar. And was it the hangover?
Hangar bar.
Hangar bar. That ought to be called the hangover bar. Those bartenders there are pretty good at making drinks too, by the way.
They all are.
Yeah. They're the guys that can flip the bottles and the Tom Cruise movie Cocktail. You remember that? Where you're flipping the bottles and you're doing all the acrobatics and all of that kind of stuff.
I really don't need that. Just pour the drink.
Well, it's kind of a show.
Yeah, but if you're waiting.
Using flair?
Yeah, that's what they call that method of bartending.
Okay, well,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
If that dude's spinning bottles all over the place and flipping them up and using flair, and I'm standing in the line waiting to order, I'm getting pissed at the show. Pour the drink and let's go.
The tip is getting worse, right? Who knows? Hey, Brian Schottenheimer wrapped up his press conference there at the Star in Dallas and obviously had a lot to say about what took place yesterday with Micah Parsons and the trade to the Green Bay Packers. We'll hear from O'Shotty, who I notice the new guy doesn't have a nickname yet.
Not yet.
He might by tomorrow, though, because Cowboys do practice today as they get set for the Philadelphia. It's so cool, Minix, that when we come back next week, we're talking about week 1 in the NFL.
Game week.
I can't wait. It's game night tonight here at Hero Stadium, though. We got high school football kicking off right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Minix has the call of Reagan and Brennan. We're talking Cowboys football when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
These $400,000 Rolls-Royce Wraith, they have a Starlight option with little shooting stars with like 10,000 little lights in it. I mean, DJ Pre-K, are you familiar with Starlight on Rolls?
Yeah, man, that's the stars in the ceiling. That's the real deal.
See? Why is that a real deal?
Look at him light up.
I mean,
because, man, that's the bling blow.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Vacation mode? Check. Don't forget your furry friend. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma offers daycare, boarding, grooming, and more. Discounts for military teachers and first responders. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit, where pets play, stay, and feel at home.
When it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protected by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Reese Davis. Let's be honest, you can't keep an eye on everything unless you've got Blink Outdoor 4 cameras. While you're focused on the game, Blink's keeping an eye on your home.
With up to 2-year battery life and with Sync Module XR, you can cover more space without constant maintenance. No wires, no worries. Blink helps keep an eye on what matters most. Get Blink today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm." Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, we're back from a long weekend. We got plenty of football to talk about. What happened in the Texas-Ohio State game, A&M versus UTSA. Let's look forward to next week, and we got Cowboys coming up on Thursday. Football Tuesday, baby. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a football Friday at Hero Stadium, that's where we are, because there is high school football to be played here tonight and all over this beautiful city of San Antonio, all over the state of Texas for that matter. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix. You getting the pipes worked up, ready for the call there, Minix?
Nah.
No, you good?
I'm good.
Wow. Confident dude, aren't you?
Well, I mean, what do you do? You talk for 4 hours and you get a little bit of break, mix in a Frito pie, and then the game is good. Game is on.
Game is on. And then it's a lot harder than this, so no disrespect meant. You just tell people what's going on the field. That's it.
That's all you have to do.
All you have to do.
All you have to do.
Say that guy was running for this guy, and there he is. That guy tackled that guy.
What are you, Dave South?
Exactly. Dave South. Wow. Aggies, you have a much better play-by-play guy, although I know Dave South is a legend in Aggie land.
He is a legend, but Dave South.
Andrew Monaco is no disrespect.
Well,
I hate to disrespect Dave South. He's a lot better.
When you think about some of the calls, like I remember one time, and John Robbins, who's been my stat guy for damn near 20 years, if not more, big Aggie, and we were driving from a game, and it must have been a Saturday game because we were listening to Aggie football, and Dave South called a punt. I'll never forget this. And the punt went none yards. And he said on the air that the punt went up the little plasticky part of the shoelace, and that's why you veered off to the right.
Well, if he saw that, he's pretty good.
Well, and look, there was always a reason. And one of my favorite Dave South calls was a run up the middle for 2 from about the 45-yard line. Then it was 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. What the hell happened? Turns out it was a play-action pass, and he never saw it.
That's what happens sometimes, right? Especially on radio.
Yeah.
I mean, people are relying on you to tell them what happened. You're like, wait a minute.
Well, and again, when every game wasn't televised, you could get away with it. Now you can't because there's video, and at this press box, it doesn't happen. But some press boxes, you get people that are listening back in the old days on their Walkmans, and now just listening online, which you'll be able to stream the game at sasportstar.com. You say something off, and all of a sudden you get dads turning around and looking at you. The hell game are you watching?
Exactly. That's funny as hell. That's right, because a lot of people bring their radio out here to the stadium, which is kind of cool.
It is.
I always enjoyed doing that, going to any football game, whether it was college or pro, and you take your radios, you kind of put you into the game a little bit more as you're watching. And so I'm glad that a lot of people do that out here, Minix. That's good.
Absolutely. Always good stuff. Now, for the Cowboys, it's Brad Sham and a game you'll be able to listen to here on 94.1 next Thursday. I'm sure there'll be Micah Parsons conversation, but not in any kind of play-by-play. It's how do the Cowboys move forward? And everything that you heard from Brian Schottenheimer today was coach speak to the extreme, because all you can do is move on. At the end of the day, that's all you're able to do. Now, for Schottenheimer, team goals do not change.
Our team goals haven't changed. I hit the players on that today after I talked about just the tough couple days, for all the guys, and it doesn't change. The standard is the standard. I said that. We, with all the new pieces and people we had in there, I needed to hit the goal, which is to win a World's Championship. I needed to hit that. We also want to build one of the greatest professional sports cultures in the world, and that's part of the deal. When you add new pieces, you have to make sure they understand your vision. They have to understand your culture. They have to understand the way we view this game. And I think that's something we take a lot of pride in.
Interesting. Yeah, and he's right. And look, for Schottenheimer, he's kind of in a difficult spot. He may have been told, hey, Mike is out of here.
It was unanimous.
Yeah,
though.
well, that's what he said. But you know how it works in Jerryville. In Schottenheimer, was you no longer have Micah Parsons. You got this other guy, Kenny Clark. Is that his name?
Yeah.
I got to learn his name.
Well, I'm still trying to figure out what his nickname is going to be because, quite frankly, Schotty hasn't given him one yet.
Yeah. Well, again, I think, he does have some, he's been, playing in similar systems and has some exposure to Flus's system. He's a pro. He'll have no problem getting up to speed. So you should expect to see him out there.
Well, I would hope so. I mean, they got that guy named Saquon Barkley that maybe this guy can help at least slow down a little bit. I mean, even the best defensive tackles have a hard time with Barkley. So it'd be a big test for him right away.
Well, obviously, and you wonder, think about everything that Jerry had said about the importance of stopping the run. When you look at the running backs in the NFC East, and Washington has a couple of good ones. Philly obviously has maybe the best one in the NFL. You've got to be, it's like everybody's defensive front. You've got to start. If you're going to win a championship, you've got to start by winning your division, and that's competing in the NFC East. And as Shotty said, and again, he probably listened closely to everything Jerry said, it does take more than one guy to win a title.
I would say Mike is an incredible player. Nobody disputes that. He's a great player, but this is the ultimate team game. It's the ultimate team game, and we're not going to win a championship with just one person. It's going to take variations of the 69 guys plus that we have on this roster, and injuries are a big part of this, and we've built our depth up and we've done those things. But those would be the things that I would say is that again, at the end of the day, this is the greatest team sport in the world, and to do that you have to have pieces in place, and I think we have a lot of really good players in place.
He's saying all the right, and I didn't expect anything. I mean, this is the most positive guy since Jason Garrett. All right, he's going to come out. He's positive. He's going to put the positive spin on it. Everything's okay. We're moving on. And that's what you expect out of your head coach.
But earlier when he had that press conference, and we carried a good portion of it live for you here on 94.1, including with video, because I wanted to do more than just hear him. I wanted to see him. Body language. He looked tired. He didn't make the eye contact with the reporters like he normally does. His head was down for a good portion of his answers. I don't want to say he was beat down, but probably a long night for him. He talked about having to call some players yesterday and last night to make sure they were good, seeing what their reactions were, the team meeting, because it's the business side of things and nobody likes it. Whether he was popular in the locker room or not, he did have friends in that locker room, and he was a team leader. So when you take out a team leader, one of your captains, there is going to be an impact. And one of the things that you heard from Jerry and Steven last night, and you heard it from Shotty today, Mike is still part of the family. The personal relationship is still there.
I saw Micah yesterday, but I have not. But that doesn't surprise me. Mike is part of our family. That doesn't change. When you leave the team, it doesn't. Zach Martin's still part of the family. It doesn't change. And it makes me happy that, those guys are still going to be close. Shoot, we see them here in a couple weeks, right? It's like, that'll be one that it'll be a ball, but that's what I want, because what that means, Tommy, is that we are building the right type of culture where, hey, Mike is going on to Green Bay, but he's still part of the family here. And again, great memories with him and the guys in that locker room.
Well, interesting. It's a little bit different circumstances between Zach Martin and Micah Parsons.
A little bit.
But Nick Harris has released the unofficial depth chart for week 1. Now, it is unofficial. There's a couple of things on here, though, that are kind of interesting when you look at this. And we will start pretty much offensively. You can see it plays out how you would think. They've got Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker all starting, and then Terrence Steele, Jake Ferguson, obviously. They do have Jalen Tolbert or Kavonte Turpin. So I guess that's undecided at this point in time. Who's going to be that third wide receiver opening things up? Pickens, Prescott, Javonte Williams is running back 1 for game 1. Miles Sanders is running back 2. Jaden Blue's in there at number 3. That's kind of a surprise. They've already got Kenny Clark in there starting over Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith is the backup for this point in time right now. Dante Fowler is going to start at defensive end, as is Sam Williams. So that's what they have right now. So that's how they're starting this thing out. Fowler and Sam Williams will start as the defensive ends. And then they've got at linebacker, though. This is interesting. Damone Clark is in the starting spot, but it's got an or Maurice Luafau.
Yeah.
So interesting.
And when you look at that, and literally the Cowboys PR sent this out 2 minutes ago. And while it is unofficial, it is this week's. We're in game week, first game 1 press release. So it is an unofficial depth chart, but it is the one that was released from the team, not just Nick Harris's speculation on what it might be. And more than likely, this is how it is going to go. So the big news there for me isn't necessarily on the defensive side. It's the offensive side, and Tyler Guyton is listed as the starter. There were some questions whether or not he was going to be ready to play. Same with Trayvon Diggs, because there isn't an or by either one of them, because this is from the official team release.
Right.
This is an indication as of right now that they are expected to play. Now, once they get into their game week practices and have to release their daily practice reports, we'll see what their designation is, whether it's injured, limited, whatever terminology is there. But if you were looking for signs for game 1 on Diggs and Guyton, at least right now the official team release has both of those guys listed as starters. Now, for preseason games, they release what they expect it to be.
Right.
For game 1, by NFL rules, it's got to be fairly accurate. So as we sit right now, it does look like both Guyton and Diggs will be available for game 1. Now, that could change once the practice week starts and you get those designations, but those are the two big things that jump out at me. I know most are looking right now about who's replacing Micah Parsons, but for me, those are the two big. They are listed as starters as of right now.
Well, that's good news, especially Diggs, where they need help in that secondary. So that's big. With Tyler Guyton, we'll see where he goes. But obviously, if they think he's played well enough in training camp, that he gets that number 1 start or number 1 spot, at least to start the season. So that's good news. Javonte Williams starting. I don't think that surprises anybody. And the Jaden Blue injury may be why he's listed as 3rd right now in the running back depth behind Miles Sanders. Not sure, although when we saw Miles Sanders at training camp, he looked pretty damn good.
Well, he did. And again, I think by all accounts, they don't want to be running back by committee. So there will be a bell cow type running back, and whether that's Javonte Williams or not, but the bulk of the carry, it's not trying to split up 7 and 7 or whatever.
Right.
But all 3 of those guys could play. But I'm guessing it doesn't necessarily matter 2 and 3 versus Sanders and Blue. If Blue is healthy, they're each going to have packages, and that's something that Schottenheimer has talked about a lot. Play calls for who is in the game, not I'm calling a play, it doesn't matter who's in there, which I think is a big difference from what we saw from Mike McCarthy. He was going to call a play, and whoever was in there better be able to run it. Sounds like Schottenheimer, depending on the personnel, will depend on the plays that are being called, which I think is a smart way to go about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, that those young fellas on that offensive line, we talk about Kenny Clark having a debut against a tough running back. that offensive line has got a very good defensive front that they're going to have to go up against the Philadelphia Eagles. So it'll be a big test for those guys, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do for sure. The good news is we're talking football. We're talking about games, and we're talking about getting ready to watch games and get college football. And tonight you got the big Texas-Ohio State game tomorrow and a lot of others. UTSA, Texas A&M, certainly one of those. Man, it's exciting. It's a great time of year.
There's so many games.
So many games.
I am so ready for football.
Yes.
And again, I think we all are. And whether you're a high school football fan, I mean, looking last night with high school football, Clark and Sotomayor, that place looked packed. You had the Johnson Jaguars just steamroll the Judson Rockets.
Woo! Oh yeah, they did. We were watching that game. It was the TV game. Last night.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was on at the bar, which we didn't have sound on it. But and next week we've got Johnson and Piper here on 94.1, which should be a hell of a game. So it is certainly that time of year, which is going to be a whole lot of fun.
No question about it. And of course, we're still talking about the fallout from the Micah Parsons trade to Green Bay. Micah Parsons, what would you think the odds are for him to win Defensive Player of the Year? And would you expect him to be the leader in that situation? We're talking about it when we return here at Hero Stadium. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's a Friday, long weekend. All of you have plans, and I'm guessing none of you plan on getting arrested, but some of you will, because it happens to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747. Or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 to help you get out of jail fast. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. So if you're down at the coast, up in Dallas, anywhere in between, license number 149, call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is calling all golfers. The Fall Golf Classic is back. Mark your calendars for Monday, September 29th, and lock in your spot for one of the most fun golf events of the year at the Olympia Hills Golf Club. For just $120 per player or $400 for a foursome, you'll get 18 holes of fun, friendly competition, and non-stop laps with your crew. But don't wait. Spots will sell out fast, and once they're gone, they're gone. This isn't your average uptight tournament. It's all about cutting loose, enjoying the day, and supporting a great cause. The Community Foundation of the Hill Country, presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Charm Club, and sponsored by Fly by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. And when the final putt drops, the party's just getting started. Head over to the Break Room Bar on Pat Booker Road for the official after party. Cold drinks, great food, and the perfect finish to a perfect day. Don't get left out. Grab your crew, grab your clubs, and get ready for a Monday you won't forget. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation.
Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks is the official foundation repair company of Texas Athletics. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
Pork rinds are the crunch time hero of the snack aisle. Low carb, collagen packed, and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. The PorkRinds.com Instagram will make a crunch time donation with each share of the Crunch Time Hero college football post, with each share equaling a $1 donation to the Archer Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping families dealing with DIPG, DMG, pediatric brain cancer. Share on Instagram today and grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe pork rinds at HEB.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Did you see our promotions guy, Nick Trey, came into our YouTube chat earlier today?
He did.
San Antonio Sports Star said there are only 30 spots left for our Fall Golf Classic. That is incredible. And we're not even we're about a little less than a month away, but about a month away from the tournament.
Well, today is August 29th, and the tournament is September 29th.
All right, well, then we're exactly a month away. Trying to hedge. I couldn't remember. Was it 28th or 29th? It is the 29th of September. So we're a month away, and there's only 30 spots left. So if you want to play, I suggest you go to SASportsStar.com and sign up.
The golf tournament brought to you by the Lofts of Jesse Hernandez, Flight by Yingling, PPL Motorhomes. Always a great time. Always sells out. Man, wouldn't it be awesome to be sold out next week?
It would be, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, this is the quickest since I've been here at San Antonio Sports Star that we've gotten this close to being sold out on any of our golf tournaments.
I want to say the spring one last year was completely sold out with either 2 or 3
About
weeks.
2 weeks left, I think, yeah.
And you go from there. Justin Guerrero is asking on YouTube, can you ask Nick if he has a hat he can get? No, dude.
A hat? Come to the golf tournament.
Yes.
Chances are you'll get a hat.
Sign up. Oh, are we doing hats again?
I don't know.
We've done the last 2. We never know what's in the goodie bag until we get them.
Exactly.
And we don't even get one. We just see what's in them.
Well, you don't get one?
Well, unless there's extras.
Oh, I get one. You don't get one?
Well, you beg for one.
Well, exactly. I mean, what are you talking about? No, there's always, Nick takes care of us.
Yeah, he does.
He always takes care of us.
Trying to be funny. But Justin, he says he's in. whatever's in the goodie bag, you're going to get. Do we have extras from last year? I don't know. Typically, we either take them to event shortly after to get rid of it,
right,
or it sits in a prize closet for 3 years. Like, what are we doing with this? We've changed logos twice since then.
What did Justin, who was on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, didn't we all get our haircut together at the golf tournament in the spring?
Yeah, that's that dude.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's that guy.
We all sat there and got a little free trim. All three of us. See, you get all kinds of stuff at our golf tournament. You need a haircut, you'd probably be able to get a haircut.
Joe's hair says he needs conditioner.
No, see, I don't know who that is. I have a feeling I know who that is. I condition my hair quite regularly, buddy. So,
like daily?
No, not daily.
Okay.
Yeah, but
no, nobody.
You got to throw in a little conditioner.
You want to? Speaking of hair, I saw Michael Irvin was on First Take today with Stephen A. Smith, and Michael Irvin and Stephen A. are friends, but Michael Irvin was giving Stephen A. a bunch of crap. So why do you only invite me on for bad things? And then Stephen A. was like, dude, you need a haircut. We'll talk about that off air.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what Mike's doing with this hair, but that's the least of his worries right now, because on his YouTube channel, you could tell, man, the playmaker is just going through it right now.
This is a real sad day. God. I love Michael. I wanted him here. This is where he's supposed to be. I was the guy he said that to when he got drafted here to the Cowboys. He wanted to be here more than anything. Tried to tell Jerry, don't mess around with this kid like this. They put him in a corner, and he's an emotional person. And I believe here they made an emotional decision. They just said, I'm done. Wow. I don't even know how to process it. I'm still. I got everybody. Oh, man. I got to go and try to get my emotions intact and piece this together in my mind and hope somehow, some way that I'm going to pinch myself and wake up and find out it's all just a dream. And Micah Parsons is still here.
No, unfortunately, it's not a dream.
That's a nightmare.
Michael, it's not a nightmare. It's a good thing for the Cowboys. This is a good move. Move on. Let's go.
Okay, Jerry.
I'm just saying, it's to me, this is not. It's not the end of the world. My goodness, it's okay. Now, could they have gotten more for him? Sure, I'll concede that. But, dude, he's not Charles Haley, not yet. He's not Deion Sanders, not yet. But, I mean,
again, 4 years in the league. He is a game wrecker. He is dominant. And he moves on to Green Bay. And now he's the favorite, according to Vegas, to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Well, that's like calling for Arch Manning to win the Heisman, 3 weeks ago? That he's the guy. He's going to win the Heisman. Come on.
Again, you got to have a clubhouse leader before the season starts.
You do.
And Micah is now the clubhouse leader. Why? Because he's that good. Hell, he's been a Defensive Player of the Year finalist, the last 3 years? I mean, you look at what this guy has done through 4 years of his career, and it only compares to two other guys. Both are in the Hall of Fame. You can't underscore what this guy has done on the field. Now, he's an elite pass rusher, but the Cowboys have other issues. We know that. I'm not as devastated clearly as Michael Irvin. I don't know many that are, unless you have 17 Parsons jerseys. But the reality is he's a hell of a player, and it doesn't feel like the Cowboys got enough in return. I have no problem with them making this decision and trading him. I do have a major problem with the timing of it. If you were going to trade him, you could have done this in March and gotten a lot more and been able to do more to help this year's team. Or you could have waited because you did control his contract this year and traded him next year where you could help that team. You've got a new defensive tackle who's a really good run stopper, but that's it. And you got rid of your best player. And you get 2 first-round picks, which are great. They're going to be late-round picks. So now the Cowboys have 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years. They're 2 and the 2 from Green Bay. But if they pick another Mozzie Smith or Taco Charlton, what good are those first-round draft picks?
Well, they're not, but who's to say they're going to do that?
Well,
I mean, look, the Cowboys, I would think you would agree with this because I've heard you say it before. They're pretty good at drafting players.
They are.
Not every draft is going to be, the one where, you get it. They were lucky to get Micah Parsons to begin with because they didn't want him. At that time, they were looking for a cornerback. The cornerbacks they wanted were gone. Micah was there, so they took him. They got lucky.
Well,
you got to get lucky.
I mean, they wanted him. They had higher needs. They were hoping a defensive back would fall to them. They didn't, but they were happy to get Micah Parsons.
Sure, but that's not who they had targeted
but that's,
at that pick.
I mean, that's every draft. I mean,
that's
your first 2 picks in the fantasy draft,
pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Yes.
You were an auto draft because you couldn't figure out how to get into the Yahoo draft to make a pick.
And very pissed off. I'm just saying, the point I'm making is sometimes you got to get lucky. And the Cowboys with Micah Parsons got lucky. That's not who they wanted, but he was there, and so you got to get lucky.
But again, when I hear Jerry from last night, and I do appreciate this of Jerry Jones, major trade press conference last night. He didn't hide from the media.
No,
he made a move that he knew was not going to be popular, and he faced the firing squad. But in the process, he said when they were having trade talks, they knew what they wanted in return was a defensive tackle.
Kenny Clark. We knew beginning, we really knew beginning this spring that if we could pick up a top interior defensive lineman just to offset not having a pass rusher, even though it's Micah, but where we're long, where we're strong is in our pass rushing depth. And we knew if we could get an interior lineman, that was at least something that would improve us right there on a top interior lineman. He comes in strong for us, and he comes in accomplished for us. And so we're glad to have him. It was a prerequisite. We went down the teams, and we only picked teams that had room on their cap that could pay Micah, and we only picked teams that had top tackles, interior tackles, that we wanted to have any dialogue with at all about a trade. That was the criteria of trading. Top existing tackle that could come in here and play for us right now, this year, and offset the fact to whatever degree, more or less, that we don't have that excellence that Michael Parsons has there, but we do have the depth to come in here and do that. And then if we could get the picks that we ultimately getting, and we did have several teams that we might have had an opportunity to do something with. We did have that. And so this was no instantaneous happening this afternoon over about a 5-minute period.
So what you heard from Jerry there is in the spring, they were thinking about trading Micah Parsons and getting a top interior defensive tackle. His words in the spring criteria, we wanted a defensive tackle in return. So for all of us that are saying they could have gotten more, they settled for less, 2 1s and a DT as opposed to more draft picks. Other people might have offered more, but they didn't have the tackle they wanted. But they knew in the spring that they needed a run stopper. Anybody that's watched this team the last 3 years have known they needed a run stopper because Mozzie Smith has been a bust. But they knew in the spring defensive tackle, even if it meant no Micah Parsons. So how long have they been thinking about trading away Micah Parsons? But with the talks going on with Micah, the need for a defensive tackle was still there, and they did not address it.
I'm shocked at that, quite honestly, that they didn't address it.
They're telling on themselves for bad general managership.
Well, it's a couple of things. They did go out and get a defensive tackle in the draft, and Jay Toya, although it was late.
7th round.
Right. But he has proved, I think, at least for now, that he's got a future in Dallas. Mozzie Smith's obviously gone. I mean, I don't think there's any question. He plays this year, and he probably will be wearing a different uniform somewhere else. Look, I'm with you. If you didn't think Mozzie was the guy, and obviously they didn't in the spring, then you should have addressed it in free agency or trade something,
or maybe higher in the draft. Now you're right.
Yes.
They might have gotten lucky with the Jay Toya, but their unofficial depth chart they just released, he's still number 3 on the depth chart, behind Kenny Clark, Mozzie Smith, and Jay Toya. Toya might grow into that, but you talk about if it was that much of a priority for the Cowboys today or yesterday when they made the trade, where was that sense of urgency to go find that player either through free agency or other trades prior to 1 week before the season starts?
Well, I find it interesting because I think if we're talking about this in the spring, and Jerry's kind of talking out of both sides of his mouth, is he not? I mean, because he says he offered Micah a contract, a very big contract, which, if you believe the numbers we've seen floating around, was pretty damn good at that time, with more guaranteed money than he got with Green Bay.
If you're looking at the numbers that are out there, you're right. I think a lot of people, it doesn't get Jerry off the hook, but it puts a lot more on Micah Parsons and Mulligetta if the numbers are true. But it comes back to the years that Jerry always wants, because what's being reported now, and these numbers are leaking, and obviously leaking to make Jerry look a little bit better, or a little, you understand how the game works, but Jerry wanted the extension to start after this final year. So the option year on his rookie deal at 21 baked into the 4-year extension to get the total of 5. Mulligetta wanted, and Micah wanted, this year to get ripped up, start the new contract now, so it's only 4. But with what we're seeing now nobody's at 47, but on that 5-year deal, if you include this year, more guaranteed money than what he got from Green Bay, which Jerry made the offer that Micah was looking for. And quite frankly, the numbers that are being reported right now, higher than what we even thought they were going to be. So we'll see. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Jesse, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Long-time listener, and lifelong Cowboys fan. To me, Micah Parsons' contract is like a very expensive car. Very expensive car with no warranty, being purchased used with no warranty, no Carfax. And what I mean by that is I'm curious to see if he's going to last towards the end of the season with Green Bay, how physical they play, and into the playoffs, because it's going to be a long playoff run for them. Second of all, the distractions, his podcast, Blue Collar Town, Blue Collar State. Micah taking out his frustrations on his podcast, throwing players under the bus. It's a huge baggage that we got rid of. You don't lose when you don't overpay. Now, with that said, we're going to be able to sign a bunch of young talent that the Cowboys have always had issues in keeping, and our number 2 wide receiver. I'm out. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks for the call. I take it Jesse's not too upset by the trade.
I mean, all right, look, we saved a bunch of money. We'll be able to get some other guys. Keep in mind, it's the first guy that I can remember that leaves Dallas that Jerry wanted to keep.
He did. He wanted to get. Now, look, if those numbers are true, though, that's going to be a whole new conversation, because if those numbers are true, Micah would have gotten more guaranteed money. Yes, the contract would have been longer, and maybe that's Mulligetta's fault, and he just doesn't do long contracts. I mean, that could possibly be, because according to Jerry, Pledge, and I know you know this. Mulligetta told Jerry to do what with that contract?
Stick it up our ass.
Yes.
In so many ways. Now, the new guy coming in is Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark had nothing to do with this.
Nothing.
And he shouldn't receive anything negative. And he actually probably does help this year's Cowboys team because he's already better than Mozzie Smith. He was talking to the media today. We'll hear from him coming up.
Can't wait to hear from old Kenny Clark. We'll see if he's got a nickname yet, if Shotty's anointed him that just yet. We're live at Hero Stadium getting ready for a little high school football out here that you can hear the call from Jason Minix coming up at 7 o'clock tonight right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Blitz, 2 to 6 on YouTube and always at sasportstar.com.
George gets justice after being hit by an 18-wheeler. The experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey, Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This Thursday, September 4th, is a one-of-a-kind whiskey and food experience at the historic Pearl.
It's a Garrison Brothers Whiskey Stroll. Sip unique whiskey cocktails and enjoy chef-curated bites throughout the Pearl District.
Featuring pairings from Southerly Fine Food and Brewery, Southerly Oat South, The Boiler House, Brasserie Montchouchou, and Casanova Barbecue.
The Garrison Brothers Whiskey Stroll is this Thursday and tickets are limited. Get yours by visiting gb-tx.com/pearl.
That's gb-tx.com/pearl.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Big day of college football tomorrow. Starting at 11 o'clock, the top-ranked Longhorns take on the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes at the Horseshoe. Then it's Texas A&M taking on UTSA. That one will kick at 6 in College Station. You can catch that game right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Beginning at 5, Texas Tech welcomes in Arkansas Pine Bluff for a 6:30 kickoff.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions.
Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On a football Friday, we're live at Hero Stadium getting ready for a little high school football action. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Hope you're having a great Friday. And if you get off at 5 o'clock, you're having a really good Friday because you're off work and the weekend is here, and a long weekend at that. I'm Joe Reinagle. That's Jason Minix. And your day's just getting started, my friend.
It really is. I've got another 6-7 hours to go here at Hero Stadium.
You don't care.
Nah.
You don't mind.
Because there's a Frito pie in my future.
That's like your spinach for Popeye, right? Frito pie for Minix.
Sure. As long as I don't have to mix in any spinach, I'm good.
Well, I'm kind of curious how the Frito pie is going to be here.
It's a clean slate. Now, the Hero Stadium was dead last in the rankings last year, I believe. But they're at least going to start the season at the top of the leaderboard. Now, odd question for you. A lot of people were wondering and tweeting us this morning where was Rob. Rob took the day off because he's got to be in Dallas for a wedding, a Friday night wedding. And he just posted a photo that from the wedding in Trophy Club. That Rob's all dressed up, has a suit and tie on.
How about that?
All of that. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to show the photo that Rob just posted. If you're friends with Rob on Facebook, you can go there and see it. But you look at this photo, and I love Rob Thompson. He's a dear brother of mine. We've been friends for a long, long, long time. But aren't old people supposed to take selfies from above? Right? I don't need to see the nose hairs. Right?
You got some nose hairs hanging out. Huh?
I mean, unless he was just trying to, not have people, because, and I'm this way too, when you're taking selfies and you're old and you're trying to figure it out. I mean, I don't know how the kids just do it so easily, but they know where to look. I don't think Rob knows where to look. Kelly's not sure where to look either. But I mean, it's a great photo, Rob. Have fun at the wedding.
Yeah, I think Pledge has got it up on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page.
He was able to.
Yeah, I was able to do that, so you can kind of see. Look at Rob looking a little dapper. I think he was trying to hide the fact that he was taking a selfie. That's what it looks like to me, because you see other people around. I don't know if he's supposed to be doing that or not. So
it's a wedding.
Kind of had the phone down here, so.
Well, it's also Rob. Maybe his shoulder hurts and he can't raise his phone above his head. That's a possibility.
That is a possibility.
I mean, he might have hurt himself sleeping in the car on that drive up to Dallas.
What, he didn't drive? Kelly's driving?
Well, they left yesterday after the show.
Well, true.
So
that's a good point.
It's a possibility that Kelly was driving. She generally does drive. Rob's a rider, not a driver.
He's a rider,
right? I couldn't. No, I'm the driver.
I'm the driver too,
but,
man. I can't do that.
But Rob doesn't mind riding shotgun and figuring out where they're going to stop and what they're going to eat and while Kelly's doing all the work. Although they left yesterday after the show, and I'm going to guess
probably snoozed a little bit.
Since they made it, she was driving so he could nap. I'm
sure that's the case. Although there were some kolache spots he was talking about. He's going to stop at.
Oh, that's a requirement.
Absolutely.
But again, I learned this term the other day from one of our bosses. I'm sure he had to have a bio break at very specific rest stops to be able to get those kolaches.
Of course. By the way, Jon Machota from The Athletic is going to join us at 5:15 or so, right in that area. He'll get us up to date on what took place at the Star today. Looking forward to that. So they had new players in.
Well,
one new player in.
Yeah, Kenny Clark. And again, Kenny, no negative on Kenny. I mean, he knows he's not Micah Parsons, but he was asked today, what does he bring to the Dallas Cowboys?
I mean, just no nonsense. You're going to get a dog, somebody that, that's just all about football. And, I'm here to ball. I'm here to be my best self. And I feel like when I'm my best self, there's nobody messing with me. So it's I mean, that's what I bring to the table. And I'm here to play my ass off.
All right. Well, you got to like that attitude.
Well, yeah, and of course, he's here to stop the run. How do you stop the run? Playing down there in the trenches.
Honestly, I mean, when it all comes down to stopping the run, it's all about physicality and setting edges. And I mean, I think as long as we doing our job as a defense, it all takes 11. It takes all of us understanding how to stop the run, and it takes all of us holding each other accountable every day to know our responsibilities and to play the run so we can be able to rush the passer. So I mean that's my goal is to be a dog, to be a dog in the middle, and handle my business physically, but also having everybody understand what we need to do mentally and how we need to prepare in order to stop the run.
Boy, that's interesting what he just said. You got to be able to stop the run so you can rush the passer.
Yeah.
Something that the Cowboys haven't had in a long time.
Well, and again, stopping the run, having that dog mentality.
Yeah.
What I do like with having a guy like this come in, and I know some of this is being glass half full, but, we've said this with other stud players. You go somewhere and, look, the Cowboys have done it. They grow up together. They kind of know everybody. Now you got somebody in and go, what the hell are you doing that for? And this guy, it seems like he's the kind of guy that he's been around a long time. He's veteran. He's Pro Bowl level player.
Yeah.
So Mozzie Smith, you might learn something from this guy because as he's talked about, he is a leader, was a leader in Green Bay. He's going to eventually be a leader in Dallas.
Establishing myself by how I play and just being myself, establishing myself as a leader. And, I lead by example. I truly believe in being a pro and doing things the right way. And, that's what I expect to come in and do.
He sounds like, and you got to wonder, a guy's 30 years old or in that area, been with the Packers his whole career.
Yeah.
But he sounds excited, to me at least, to come to Dallas.
It is interesting because here is a guy that didn't plan on leaving.
No.
And you wonder when you think about how quickly this trade came together, even though they'd been working on it for a while. He practiced yesterday with Green Bay.
Yes, he did.
If Green Bay thought he was on the trade block, he wouldn't have been on the practice field.
No.
Could you imagine? Yeah. Well, he's going to get out there and practice. And if he would have gotten hurt yesterday, the whole thing blows up, which tells you how fluid things were until they weren't.
Right.
It's almost like when you see a player in baseball get pulled off the field in the third inning.
He's traded.
Yeah, you're out of here. And again, as a defensive tackle, he comes in as the best one on this Dallas Cowboys team.
No, there's no question about it. He does. He's already moved to the top of the list on the depth chart. Mozzie Smith behind him, and then Jay Toya behind him. So, look, this guy he should be the starter. Number one, should be the starter. So, and he will be.
Let's go to the phones at 210-656-ESPN 656-3776. D-Day, you're on the Blitz. What's going on, man?
Hey, guys. Just kind of reiterate what a lot of the other people have been saying. I've been a Cowboy fan since the 70s, man. I've watched this thing for the past 30 years just spiral, just circle the drains. And I hate to be this guy, but let's face facts, man. Does it really matter with or without Micah Parsons? They're going to underachieve with or without the guy. Jerry Jones has proven that time and time again. It's just we're just beating our head against the wall until the Jones team is done with ownership, or the Jones family is done with ownership of this team. It's just going to be the same story, different day. And we all have to admit that to ourselves. It's not going to change.
The problem is we're all going to be 6 feet under, I think, by the time the Jones family is done with the Dallas Cowboys.
After Jerry, it's going to be Steven and then the grandkids.
Right.
I just don't see the Joneses not owning them in our lifetime. Now, maybe some of the other Joneses will be a little wiser and bring in football people that they can fire when they're not happy with what the GM is doing, but they're all growing up the way Dad has done it. So especially when Steven takes over, I don't see many changes. You know, it is a long weekend, and then Tuesday, the San Antonio Missions have their final homestand. They're taking on the Corpus Christi Hooks starting Tuesday, and we got a 4-pack of tickets to give away.
The Corpus Christi Hooks.
Yeah.
A 4-pack.
Yeah, family 4-pack.
Well, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. It's no longer caller 11.
Yeah, because
what is Kenny Clark going to wear?
96. So let's go caller 9.
Caller number
Pledge.
9.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Caller 9. You're going out to the Wolf on Tuesday night.
Jon Machota with The Athletic. Jon Machota will join us coming up from The Athletic. Let us know what happened at the Star in Frisco today. We're live out at Hero Stadium, ready for some football on this Football Friday. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Pumpkin Biscuits in Selma.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Please keep in mind during your stay, el perro es no comida.
Oh, that's good. What did he say? Don't eat the dog. He said, "Don't eat the dog."
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Listen to the John Clay Wolf Show Saturday morning at 8 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio, join the 210 Challenge and help UTSA football pack the Alamo Dome this season. Just $210 gets you a pair of club-level season tickets to watch all 6 Roadrunners home games this season. You can't beat this deal. $210 for a pair of season tickets. Log on to goutsa.com/tickets or call the UTSA ticket office at 210-458-8872 to purchase your tickets today. Because when we win, San Antonio wins.
Imagine if today was the day your idea changed someone's life. Imagine if you could help someone pay for college, help your community build a new playground, or help a child make it to that dream competition. With GoFundMe, it's all possible. GoFundMe is the world's #1 fundraising platform trusted by over 200 million people. Every week, ordinary people meet their goals and do extraordinary things. Your ideas matter. GoFundMe isn't just for emergencies. Want to raise money for your kid's soccer team or raise funds for a small business, a creative project, or event? GoFundMe helps you turn ideas into reality. And help adds up. Fundraisers you start for someone else raise up to 5 times more. So think right now, who could use your help? Change rarely comes from waiting. It comes from someone deciding, today I'll start. Don't wait for someone else to bring change. Today, start your fundraiser in just minutes at GoFundMe.com/power. That's GoFundMe.com/power to start your fundraiser. GoFundMe.com/POWER. This is a commercial message brought to you by GoFundMe.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this. The insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job, pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer lets you easily compare direct rates from different insurance companies, so you can be confident you're getting the right one, even if it's not with Progressive. Way more confident than you were when you tried online gaming. Who knew 12-year-old boys could be so mean? And where did they learn to swear like that? 2 hours of losing to these underage trash talkers, and you're starting to question if maybe you really should stick to pickleball and other boomer stuff. So use Progressive's Auto Quote Explorer and be confident you're getting insurance that's right for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
This is the home of the Aggies. This is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
And it is a football Friday. We're live at Hero Stadium getting ready for a little high school football that you can listen to right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jason Minix with the call at 7 o'clock tonight. Reagan and Brennan will be out here on this Heroes field, well, in about 2 hours or so.
Yeah, give or take. I mean, you can see people are starting to show up. Larry Ramirez from KSAT down on the field right now doing his live shot, and Mark Mendez, the photographer, holding the what is that?
The
shade?
reflector.
The reflector.
It's a reflector. I hated those things, and Marcus Floyd used to torture me with that thing.
Why?
Well, it's a reflector, so you reflect, so the light is good for TV, but it blinds you. I mean, it does. It literally blinds you. You look at that thing.
Larry's wearing sunglasses.
Well, he shouldn't be wearing sunglasses if he's doing a live shot. I taught him better than that. Greg Simmons taught him better than that.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm glad to see they're out here. This is their game of the week, and it is going to be a good one. There's no question about that. I'm Joe Reinagle. That is Jason Minix, who has a long day ahead, but he's going to be calling high school football, so it's a good thing.
I'm good with it. And, of course, the big news happening up in Dallas. Busy couple of days up there. Let's talk about it. Jon Machota from The Athletic joining us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. In Oxnard, I mean, the stunning fact that he actually got traded. You're the one that asked Jerry last night, dude, you don't let players you want to keep get away. What happened?
I'm still stunned. I mean, it's going to take me several days and probably even more than that to wrap my head around this. And it's not because I'm not one of these people that treat it like it's like I don't look at him like he's Tom Brady in his prime, where you're like, well, there's no package that you can offer. No, there's a package of players and picks that you can offer that I'd be like, yeah, that's worthy of moving off of Micah Parsons, especially if you have any apprehension about giving him that huge contract. I just can't believe that that's all that they got. I thought for sure that it would be that plus probably another fifth, a third, something else along those lines, or maybe two players. So that's the part for me that, it just puts a lot on Kenny Clark. Like, he has to be a really good player for this to even look like it. It makes a lot of sense because the first round picks, to me, I don't see them being anywhere in the top 20. Like, it's probably 25 and back. I mean, the Packers, even without Micah Parsons, are one of the best teams in the league. And so, I'm surprised that they didn't get more for him.
Well, I think we all are surprised. That news broke right in the middle of our show yesterday, John. So obviously everything we had planned got thrown out the window because we're talking about that deal. But we're still trying to figure this out because it just seemed, do you know a timeline for this thing? Because Jerry says they had been talking about it for, I guess, a little while, but it all seemed to just come together yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like it was the last few days. It felt like just the way things were going that, some way or another, whether it was going to be a contract extension, there was going to be some talks because they wanted to have Micah out on the field for this, this week of practice leading into the Philadelphia game. I mean, it's one thing to be in shape and doing stuff off the field. It's another to be in football shape. And so I knew things were getting close, so there was going to have to be a decision. But for Jerry yesterday to acknowledge that he said to Micah Parsons and his representation that we want you to play under the 5th-year deal or 5th-year option. And they were just going to move forward with that. I mean, that right there shows you that the negotiating had stopped, that there was no more, okay, let's work out this deal in the last minute like we did with Dak Prescott a year ago, hours before the season opener. No, it wasn't going to be like that. And so, Jerry will go back to March and say that he had this handshake deal with Micah, and I just have a hard time believing that he really thought, the successful businessman that he is, that he, at 82 years old, that he was going to go toe-to-toe with a 26-year-old, and that whatever that they came up to was going to be the final thing. I'll never understand that. So I believe, even going back to March when that was being discussed, there was always a part of Jerry that he was thinking that, yeah, there might be a time where I move on, where I never think that he ever felt that way about Dak and CD and Ezekiel Elliott and Des Bryant and all these other guys that he ultimately always ends up paying. This is the first time that you can actually say that Jerry didn't end up paying the guy.
And again, he even joked, sometimes I get blamed for paying too much or keeping guys too long. What really bothered me about last night's spin conference that he had is when he talked about a defensive tackle was a priority and everybody that they were going to talk to. We're only going to talk to teams that have the cap space to sign Micah and have a great interior defensive tackle because we know we need that. And he's telling on himself because they know they needed that last year and the year before. And if it was such a priority, why didn't they address it in free agency or through other trades or, I don't know, a week before the season starts?
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, it's like when he says about, and don't rule out us packaging these picks and going after another player. You want to see this trade get even worse? Let them package those picks for a running back, like a veteran running back, where you'd be like, that's how you're filling that hole now. You did Micah Parsons for this. Like the way he talked about that, that first question, the way it took him 11 minutes to answer that, and in that question, how much he talked about that being able to stop the run. Just left me scratching my head. I mean, it did bring back memories of Nico Harrison after the Luka Doncic trade, talking about defense wins championships over and over again. We're like, no, we get that, but like, you do know how rare it is to have a player this talented, right? Like, we get you guys need to be better at stopping the run, but like, this isn't like the way he talked about stopping the run yesterday made me think of like if this trade was like a year ago. And it was DeMarcus Lawrence for Kenny Clark straight up. You'd be like, yeah, they're giving up a good edge rusher, but you get Clark, whatever. This was not Micah Parsons entering the prime of his career at 26 years old. So the other fascinating thing for me, I will have to say, there are these two things that stand out to me that I'll always think about. One, the Green Bay Packers are a team that never really does deals like this. I mean, you got to go back to like a Reggie White type thing where that wasn't even a trade, that was a signing, but they just don't do these type of bold moves. So that will always make me think of this kind of this cartoon in my head of them being like, oh my God, they're going to do it. Don't say anything. Just act serious. Okay. They're seriously thinking about doing this Parsons thing with us. Don't tell anybody. Don't ruin this, whatever. Like, I can't believe that they're going to do this deal, And then the flip side is you also, if you're the Packers, have to think to yourself, wait a second, Jerry Jones can't handle this guy? Is there more here that we don't know about? Like the Cowboys love, players with any baggage or any problems and things like that. They're ready to move on from Micah Parsons. Let's make sure we do background checks on this, that we have everything, because this does not seem like something Jerry would part with.
Well, I tell you what, it's a weird deal, and you're right about Green Bay. I mean, to give up 2 first-round picks, I get that they're going to be in the 20s somewhere, but for them, that's unusual. I've got to ask you, Jon Machota with The Athletic is who we're visiting with. With the whole Netflix thing that's going on and the Jimmy Johnson thing, the loyalty issue, do you think Jerry in his mind and why this got there, that he thought he had a deal with Micah, didn't happen, so he's thinking Micah might be disloyal?
Oh, there could be some of that, but I just find it very hard to believe that he didn't feel any disloyalty ever before with any other player that he ended up getting a deal done with. Usually Jerry is the guy that, if you're a really talented player, he's going to figure out a way to keep you in the building. That's the part where I just don't fully believe in it. That can be part of it. Don't get me wrong. There's certainly little parts of it. I think him laying on that trainer's table is part of it. Do I think it's like 30%? No, it's probably 2% or 1%, but I think that's a lot of little things. It's probably a bunch of stuff behind the scenes that went on that they did not like the idea of giving him this massive contract because of what it would mean. And hey, they've done that with plenty of other players. So again, that's not the biggest piece of it, but I guarantee you that there's a lot of little things that factored into this to where they got to this point where they're like, yeah, I don't know if this is going to make the most sense. And I bet you, and I mean, it's not even I bet you, I know that there's people in the organization that felt that way. I mean, I can't say definitively, but that's what I've gathered over the last couple of days, that this was not I can't give you an exact person like, no, Steven really wanted him gone, or this. I can't say that, but this is not a Jerry Jones 100% all by himself. I'm the only one that thinks that Micah needs to go, and everybody else is telling me this is Zach Martin, but I'm the only one over here saying Johnny Manziel. That's not the impression I get on this at all.
No, and John, I think, if you're tiptoeing around it, I'll say it. I mean, because, we're in Oxnard, we're around those people, and we talk to different people, but you're there every day. So I'm sure you've heard some of the same. Micah wasn't necessarily the most liked guy in the building or most friendly, maybe not a great teammate or coworker, however you want to say it. When he asked for the trade, we heard from a couple of different people while we were in Oxnard, different areas of the organization that said he'd hate to lose him, but there'd be a lot of people in that building not unhappy if he were to leave. Now that he's gone, I don't think anything I've heard would say cancer in the locker room by any stretch of the means, but he wasn't a necessarily liked or great teammate. Are we going to hear more of those stories in the next week as more truths get leaked out?
It's possible. No, it certainly is, because anytime you have, I mean, how big is this deal? I mean, I can't think of many that are even on this level over the last 20 years in the NFL. And so when you have something this massive, I don't think it ever completely will go away. There will be things that come out over the next weeks, months, and even years to where you're like, oh, okay, then yeah, that factored into and stuff like that. That will certainly happen. And the longer that time goes where he's not here, the more that people will feel comfortable talking about that stuff. I guarantee you that happens. And then there's also what happens to him in Green Bay. If he goes to Green Bay and has a bunch of success, and that isn't a problem, people will say, yeah, I thought he was such a bad guy behind the scenes. It doesn't look like that was a problem in Green Bay.
I kind of, especially with the whole let's get a second opinion on the back, here we've kind of compared it to the Kawhi Leonard situation in San Antonio. When he was first hurt, everybody was kind of, and then as things went away and Kawhi was working in New York looking for his own doctors, all the truth started to come out. I'm just curious how much of that same parallel is going to happen in Dallas with Micah Parsons now that he is a Packer.
Yeah, for sure, and especially when you got Jerry Jones involved in it. I mean, we talk about things leaking out. In any random radio interview, Jerry could, just share something, and it doesn't even have to be asked about Micah. He'd be talking about another player, and he'll just say, oh yeah, that's like Micah Parsons. That was one of the issues with him, blah 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 blah. And you'll be like, wait, whoa, forget this guy. What happened with Micah? That's going to happen. He's going to want to prove that he made the right decision here, because he's going to get ripped on this one for a long time, because Micah Parsons, even that's the thing. Like, okay, so if things weren't great behind the scenes, he's still a monster on the field, commanding as many, if not more, double teams than anyone, double-digit sacks every single year. And he's a guy that, to me, I feel he's your number one guy that was the biggest reason that they had the 3 12-win seasons. It was really like, hey, they've had good offenses in Dallas. He was the guy that gave them that guy on defense that made you, okay, every game we don't have to just win by having a great offensive performance. We got this game wrecker over here on defense that can make the defense better. And I thought that his impact right from the beginning was so huge on the Cowboys' success in 21, 22, and 23. And so that's why Mike McCarthy would be a good person to be able to get his thoughts on this. I can't imagine that he expected this move to come, certainly when he was the head coach. So I wonder how he looks at this, because I do think Parsons was a big part of that on the field. Now, you got to deal with some stuff off the field, but that's what you do with superstar players.
Well, it's going to be interesting how Micah Parsons is in Green Bay. And I say that, John, because he's got a press conference tonight at 6:00 is what we were told. And I wonder what he's going to share, as I'm sure he's going to be asked about what happened in Dallas. And that, do you expect him to maybe give us some nugget of what happened and how he feels about everything?
I don't, because he kind of got everything he wanted. And so I don't see why he would. Now, I'm sure he'll throw out some nuggets and little things like that. But I don't get the sense that he's just going to take a blowtorch to the Cowboys organization in this, just because I don't think it's a great look for the Packers and what they have going on. Like, if you're Micah Parsons, you're on a team that has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl right now, and they offered you more money than you were getting offered by that team you just left. And so I think he's in a great position right now. He hasn't even experienced. He had that chance to experience, a full Green Bay winner, let alone 3-4 in a row. So everything's great for Micah Parsons right now. He is loving life. He's posted some videos about it. So I think right now he probably won't be that, I guess, ripping the team or digging at anybody. But I wonder about when they play each other in a month. Before that game, of how many, if there's some stuff back and forth, Jerry might say some things like that. But I'm obviously be tuning in. So it is Micah Parsons.
The press conference will be one thing. The podcast will be another. And then when he responds, when somebody actually does say something. Jon Machota from The Athletic here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Aside from Micah drama, there's a game next Thursday against the Eagles. The Cowboys' unofficial depth chart released today with the game notes. The two things that jumped out at me were Tyler Guyton and Trayvon Diggs listed as starters. In your mind, is that an indication that they're close and could actually play in the game Thursday, or do we have to wait and see what the practice injury reports indicate as far as their game availability status?
Yeah, no, I still think the injury reports. That's why they make sure to put unofficial on the top, because I think that's more of like for the season. It's funny that you guys say that, because those are the obvious ones, and I feel like those are the ones that, to me, I should have been like, wait, what about this? But really the one to me that I looked at was, I'm pretty sure they have Damone Clark instead of Maris Leofau. And it's like, Clark has been good, don't get me wrong, but like Leofau to me has made, like when he's been out on the field, he makes like game-changing type plays. So that one was a little interesting to me, but I think ultimately that's where those guys will be, are those spots. But yeah, I wouldn't read too much into it. I still think that there's more that we have to see from Guyton and from Trayvon Diggs to say that they're going to be ready for this Philadelphia game. I think it might be a little premature for both of them.
John, I saw some of your tweets today. Some of the other players. Apparently, Micah called the defensive line room. Is that it? And how are they feeling? What does their faces look like and their attitudes and their moods?
Oh, they don't care. They're getting more opportunities. No, I'm kidding. You could tell that they were stunned. Yeah, they're like, wow, man, look at all the snaps for me. No. It wasn't like that at all. You can tell that they were still surprised. I kind of felt it in the building today, to be honest with you, whether it was at practice or in the locker room. Like there wasn't the same juice that there's been, because I think there is a little bit of a surprise. Even if you were a player, let's say in the locker room, that you're like, yeah, I don't think Mike is the best teammate. Not saying anybody has said that to me, but if that was the case, there's still, you have to be surprised, because it's the Dallas Cowboys and they don't move on from star players like this. And so it really is kind of it's got to be a stunner to everybody, whether you're a Tyler Smith, who, you're up for a new contract, to Brandon Aubrey, guys like that in contract positions were like, whoa, I just thought that they drag this stuff out, but they ultimately pay everybody. Man, what is this? I mean, that's why I'm so stunned by it. Forget just the last 4 or 5 years. I'm going off the last 10, 15. Like, what do we even have a comp to this? So, no, there definitely was a surprise from them, but it's pretty clear talking to, Donovan Ezeraku and Marshawn Nealon, two guys that are going to get a lot more opportunities now, that, they're looking forward to it, but at the same time, they are aware that they're not going to have the double teams that Micah's drawing all the time, that it's just going to be a different defense with them. But there's no question that their depth at defensive end impacted this move.
Maybe Tyler's agent responds a little sooner to the Joneses after seeing this, because the Cowboys do need to have something positive come out of this, and maybe a quick signing of a Tyler Smith or somebody else could certainly help with that, especially now that they have all that found money that they are saving with Micah Parsons no longer on the roster. I'm curious on your thoughts. You said the energy wasn't there today. I noticed during the press conference today with Brian Schottenheimer, he seemed a little down, and I'm sure he didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but normally in his press conferences, he makes eye contact, and that's why his head was down for a lot of his answers, all the right things, coach speak type stuff. But did you kind of notice since we've talked so much body language in the last week, his body language seemed a little off today too?
Yeah, that is interesting. I didn't really notice that. Maybe, but I will also say, aside from his introductory press conference, this is the one I probably had my head down the most, because I was tweeting so much, just because I knew that so much of what he was saying was going to be what people want to hear. Because let's be honest, the way that people are looking at this is that, oh, this is just Jerry Jones doing what he wants. And so now Brian Schottenheimer has to go up there and answer questions, and he doesn't really have a say in any of this stuff. So I felt like Brian was trying to, he was trying to put forth the idea, at least, that no, he had a say in it, that he knew that there were conversations about this, and that, he was a part of those discussions and things like that, that he's not just basically like, just a coach in just name, that he does have an impact on these things. And so he was the same way about it when we talked about cutting down the roster. I asked him about Mozzie Smith. I'm just like, do you have final say in the roster? And he said that it's a collaborative thing with him and Will. And so that's going to be a tough spot for Brian, throughout his entire time being their head coach, is just having to be the face, the leader of this thing when Jerry Jones is constantly talking and making headlines.
I think that's every coach of the Dallas Cowboys, right? You kind of got to fend that off because Jerry's going to say something. Yeah, John, I just noticed on Twitter, the Dallas Cowboys have just tweeted out a thank you to Micah Parsons.
2025.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that nice?
See, now everything's fine now. Everything's good. There's no way he can say anything negative now at this press conference.
Right. Yeah, the timing of that is pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. 20 minutes before his press conference in Green Bay. Get him all emotional. Never ends.
I will say, though, real quick on that. I will say, I got to stick up a little bit for the teams here, because there was a lot of criticism about a video that the Mavs put up for Luka Doncic when he came back. And so there is a part of me where I'm like, well, you're kind of damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So what do? Not put up a video for Luka? What do you not say, put up a statement or some type of a thing for Micah? I don't know. It's like, I can see it either way. It's kind of like you're going to be criticized no matter what you do,
Yeah, it's 2025. You got to have the goodbye post, just like he said goodbye to Dallas, and and really, even though he asked for it, I don't know that he really wanted it, and I don't think he ever thought it would get to this point. I think it got personal and emotional for both, and now he's got to wear yellow pants.
Yeah, and hey, if they're winning big, he won't care because he got his money and he's got a chance to win Super Bowls. But if it gets ugly there and stuff like that, I could see him having some remorse down the line, but I don't think it will be for the next couple of years. I think he's going to be pretty happy there.
He'll be pretty cold there too for old Mike. I hope he's okay with that.
That kind of money, he can buy heated floors.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. I'm sure he can make a nice blanket out of just cash if he really needs it. He'll be fine.
Right.
Jon Machota from The Athletic. Follow him on Twitter at Jon Machota. Subscribe to The Athletic. Football season is here. John, I would say enjoy the weekend, man. There's so much good football. At least this part of the story, you don't have to worry about breaking news interrupting a great college football game.
There you go. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight.
There you go. John, have a great weekend. The great Jon Machota on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online, buyersbarricades.com.
Can you imagine being a Jon Machota or Clarence Hill or a Calvin Watkins and covering this team? I mean, you can never truly have a day off and say, I'm not even going to think about the Dallas Cowboys, because something always happens.
Yep.
Yesterday was officially a day off, by the way, for those guys. And bam, here we go.
What's a day off?
What's a day off? By the way, Matt LaFleur is having his press conference right now, talking to the media, and obviously very happy to get a player the caliber of one Micah Parsons.
How sad is he about losing a Kenny Clark?
Well, he doesn't seem sad at all. I'm not. I just saw a tweet, so I don't know. I don't know what his body language looks like. Hey, we are out at Hero Stadium this afternoon, getting ready. There's already some players showing up, the bands, the cheerleaders, all of that kind of stuff, getting ready. We got a high school football game here tonight that you can listen to right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, getting you going at about 7 o'clock. Reagan and Brennan. And we'll wrap things up from Hero Stadium, at least this portion of things, and let Minix go get his Frito pie when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Golf Classic is back, baby. Get the crew together. Guys, gals, the whole gang. And join us Monday, September 29th at Olympia Hills Golf Club for a laid-back day full of swings, laughs, and a little friendly trash talk. It's just $120 per player or $400 for a foursome. A steal for a day on a beautiful course with your buddies. Proceeds benefit the Community Foundation of the Hill Country. But don't worry, this isn't a stuffy tournament. No blazers, no pressure, just cold drinks, good vibes, and unforgettable memories. Presented by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and sponsored by Flight by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. Then, once you've conquered the course, we'll keep the party rolling at the Break Room Bar off Pat Booker Road, where the drinks are cold, the food is hot, and the stories are even better. Get ready to tee off on the best money you'll have all year. Grab your spot now at sasportstar.com.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, has your back.
Hey, it's Mike Rohn. If I have a choice, I like to do business with companies that actually stand for something. That's why I switched from Verizon to Pure Talk. No offense to Verizon, I'm sure they stand for something. I just don't know what it is. Pure Talk, on the other hand, is a veteran-owned company that supports our military in a big way, and I appreciate that. Yeah, I also appreciate unlimited talk and text and plenty of data for half the cost of the big guys, and I do like being on America's most dependable 5G network for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is no contract, no cancellation fees, and Pure Talk's commitment to handle all their customer service in this country. I saw it for myself. I went to Georgia. I got a tour of their headquarters. I met their CEO, and I talked to the same customer service folks that you'll talk to when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Switch today and save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword micro. Pure Talk. a wireless company that actually stands for something.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Tuesday on the Morning Huddle, we're back from a long weekend. We got plenty of football to talk about. What happened in the Texas-Ohio State game, A&M versus UTSA. Let's look forward to next week, and we got Cowboys coming up on Thursday. Football Tuesday, baby. Don't be late. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Live out at Hero Stadium, getting ready for a little high school football action and then a big weekend of college football, that's for sure. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
You think about tomorrow, Texas, Ohio State, 11 a.m., game of the week of the century, right? In such a big game and really – early in the pregame show because of all the tributes for Lee Corso, his final college game day broadcast. And what I think is very cool, and you realize how special Lee Corso is meant to college football. And Fox is there, their big noon kickoff. It's going to be televised on Fox. But Fox has announced that they are going to broadcast Lee Corso's headgear pick.
I think that's great. Yeah, they just announced that today and just recently. And so I think that's great. And that's a great tribute to Lee Corso, who was, he was a character all to himself and really made a name for himself doing the things that he did.
And but you realize in television how rare and odd and unusual this is.
Sure.
Because Big Noon kickoff, they're trying to get every viewer they can. Yet, you think about former ESPNers like the Bear, Chris Felicia, Tom Rinaldi. During their show on Fox, they're going to do tributes to Lee Corso, and then they're going to pick up the ESPN stream. That would be kind of like Ken's or News 4 broadcasting Steve Spreester's final broadcast the other night on KSAT, right? Like, at Ken's and at 4, they knew that was going on, and that's probably going to help their numbers, but, you kind of ignore as a broadcaster what's going on over there. We do it here. Like if the Rangers are playing a day game, we tend not to give the score.
Right.
Because we don't want to, go, oh man, that's a great game. I'm going to go listen to it over on 1250, right? Because we want to hold our audience. So that is a huge deal and quite the hat tip, if you will, for Fox, knowing that they're going to get their ass kicked in the ratings anyway. So what can we do? Well, let's have our own Lee Corso tributes here on Fox.
Well, so people because as soon as that Corso headgear thing is over on ESPN, everybody's changing to Fox anyway. So I try to get them over there a little sooner.
Yeah, a little sooner because, man, if you can get 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Every 5 minutes is what matters.
Absolutely, man.
That's what it is. And, we got games this weekend. And you know what we do? Every Friday about this time, we do our pick'em contest. We call it Prime Picks on the Blitz.
Prime Picks on the Blitz.
Now, this is week 1 for us. Just to recap last year's final standings, Joe Reinagle went 128-80. James Pledger went 132-76. I went 137-71.
What do they say about that blind squirrel?
I still haven't gotten any steaks. I mean, this dates back to Rob Thompson days.
Steaks?
Yeah,
well, steaks on the line?
Tomahawks.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Did you know about that pledge?
I did.
Oh,
and I still haven't any steaks for winning the one before that, or any of the ones with Rob Thompson.
I've given you plenty of steaks through the years, Pledge.
You have, but you didn't lose.
Well, that's true.
I've given you steaks, Pledge, but I bring you tacos from Dairy Queen. Come on.
Tacos
an even
from
trade.
Dairy Queen versus a tomahawk. That's like Micah Parsons for a Kenny Clark. What are you talking about? Texas, Ohio State. Woo! All three of us.
All three of Texas.
Horns.
The best team in the country, I think, and they're going to show it tomorrow.
UTSA traveling over to College Station to take on them Aggies. Just hope they cover, but we're all taking the Aggies to win here in straight up.
Dude, I wanted to go out on a limb and take the Roadrunners. I think they'll lose, but I think it's going to be a closer game than most people think.
What's close in your mind?
Well, they'll cover. So 17.
Okay.
How about that?
I mean, the line's what, 22.5?
23.5.
Yeah.
I'm happy if they lose by 17. I'll be a happy man.
There you go. UIW taking on Eastern Washington. 6 o'clock kickoff out of Benson. Wear red for that one.
I'm surprised your wife didn't make you take Eastern Washington.
And she also has a degree from UIW. She does not have a degree from Eastern Washington. I think she got a degree in bar at Eastern Washington.
All right. Well, that's a good degree to have.
Yes.
I got one of those at Texas State.
Absolutely. We all picked the cards.
Yeah. All right. So far right now, we picked even. Now we get a little separation. Up in Waco tonight, Baylor hosting Auburn.
I'm going with Auburn here. Baylor's got to prove it to me, and I think Dave Aranda is on the hot seat. He's got to come through. I know he went to the portal this year, which is something he hadn't done, but I still like Auburn to win this game.
I'm taking the Baylor Bears because of all the moves that Aranda made, knowing that he's on the hot seat.
He is.
I think Baylor's going to have a good run in the Big 12. I like the Bears.
Yeah, because he's on the hot seat. His job's on the line. He's got to come away with wins like this.
Clemson, LSU.
Clemson, I tell you what, it would not surprise me if Clemson is playing in the national championship game. They're that good, and they may have the best quarterback in the country behind Arch Manning, second best quarterback in the country.
Well, if you're talking about the top quarterbacks, this game will feature two in the Heisman conversation with Nussmeier and Kate Klubnik. But I'm with you. Clemson, you know they're going to make the playoffs because of the conference that they're in. And when we were at Circa Las Vegas, when you look at the teams with a legitimate shot at winning a national title, the smart money is on Clemson because the amount of money you can win. I like the Tigers to open with a win at LSU.
The Clemson Tigers.
Yes.
I'm going with LSU. Between Nussmeier, Brian Kelly, who has to start coming away with some of these games and these openers that he's been dropping consistently, this is something that's going to spur them. They have to win this game because I don't know how much I trust Clemson. I think they're a national title contender because they play in a very weak ACC conference. And they're going to run straight through that.
Brian Kelly's never won an opener at LSU.
Because they actually play good teams.
Well, there you go. So that streak will continue.
Miami and Notre Dame.
Dude, I'm going out of limit. I hate Notre Dame. I can't take them, okay? Plus, this game is in Miami. I like that. It's going to be hot for those domers. They're not going to be able to handle it. It's humid in Miami. It's terrible. That'll wear them down. The Hurricanes roar.
Yeah, take Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Taking Notre Dame. I don't believe in Carson Beck. I think he was supported by a Georgia team around him that made him better than he actually is.
I will never pick the Domers. I'm just letting you know right now.
Easy win for us every week, Pledge.
Yeah.
Bama and Florida State.
I think Bama's going to be a team to be reckoned with this year. I think they're much better than they were last year. Florida State, I don't know. I just don't know about them, and so I'm going with Bama.
14.5-point dogs. I'm taking Alabama. They're favored by 14.5. Florida State's a dog in this game.
Yeah, give me Bama.
All right. TCU, North Carolina. Bill Belichick's debut.
I'm going with Jordan Hudson on this one. I'll take UNC.
How many? What's the over/under on shots of Jordan Hudson during the game? Will it be Taylor Swift-like?
I wouldn't be surprised. I got a newfound respect for her with that gold digger jewelry line.
Yeah.
I think that was genius.
Well, and the fact that Nick Solis walks in getting ready for the high school game wearing some of the gold digger gear is even more impressive. I'm taking North Carolina at home as well.
I'm going to take TCU. There's a lot of distractions at North Carolina right now. I'm going to say, as a guy who preaches no distractions, he's bringing a lot of them to the table.
Georgia Tech, Colorado.
I'm going with Georgia Tech. I don't think Colorado's going to be any good at all this year.
I don't know what they're going to be. I'm taking Georgia Tech because, everybody talks about, hey, Shedeur Sanders doesn't have his dad. I think this is the first time his dad has coached a team that doesn't have his kid.
Exactly right.
And they're going to light him up in the second quarter.
They do that. They're going to have fun in Colorado, that's for sure.
Well, give me Colorado because while they don't have Shedeur Sanders, they did get two of the top quarterbacks. And I think he's going to continue to keep it rolling because I do think Deion's a hell of a coach.
He is a hell of a coach.
He is a hell of a coach.
But, and they did bring in some good quarterbacks. I'll give you that. But they didn't do anything with their offensive line, which was awful with Shedeur Sanders. Utah and UCLA.
Oh, God, look, those surfer boys can't play football. Going with Utah.
Utah.
See, y'all agree with me.
Yeah, that's what it is. Extra innings with Pledge coming up. Then we have high school football in about an hour.
And we've got a long weekend, so no show on Monday. We'll be back on Tuesday on the Blitz, and we'll be getting ready for game week. Keep it right here. Extra innings with Pledge coming up next. And then my old buddy Jason Minix is going to get you going and with high school football. Looking forward to that. Reagan and Brennan, have a great weekend, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right.